hard-earned 22-9 win at Geneva. A lot to like about from last Saturday night. Some guys getting an opportunity and making the most of it on both sides of the ball. All in all, what were your thoughts looking back at Saturday night?
Yeah, that was, a complete football game for us. Something we've been wanting to get going here this season, starting with the defense. Geneva came in super hot on offense, quarterback throwing for a lot of yards, and the defense did an incredible job, led by, obviously, Ben Bladel, the PAC Defensive Player of the Week, with 4 sacks, and that kind of paved the way along with the rest of the defense. And then offense, how we want to do it. We ran the ball really effectively. Obviously, Chase Rankin was a highlight there in the second half, taking over, but then hit some big passes, 3 touchdown passes, and that's what you got to do. We're known for running the ball, but we always say we got to, make plays in the past when the opportunity presents itself. It did, and then special teams, flip field position in a very important time. So just an all-around complete football game.
In looking at that defensive effort, and I guess starting with Ben Bladel, who was the Conference Defensive Player of the Week, was the D3Football.com Team of the Week. I was surprised he wasn't named to it, but such is life, we move on. 4 sacks, 5 tackles for loss against a team that with a very mobile and athletic quarterback. Actually, Ben every week is a focal point of opposing offenses and their pass protection and so forth. And he certainly shined under the Braves field.
He did, and a lot of times being doubled. There's a couple of those sacks where he defeated 2 blocks on his way to the quarterback. So, pretty special what he's able to put together. And other guys stepped up too. Obviously, first of all, defensive line. The reason we're able to do what we do is just they defeated 2. Jordan Karcheski, for example, one time they really put a lot on Ben. The quarterback tried to escape, and he was there to defeat his block and not allow a running lane. Just so many little plays like that go unnoticed sometimes. But I thought the D-line played great. But then defensive backs, some big plays and guys stepping in, as we've had some injuries in our secondary and against a really good passing offense, guys stepping in, making plays. I just thought, obviously Ben was the highlight, but just a lot of good guys, a lot of good things with guys stepping up around him.
That front 3 of Karcheski, Dave Cowart, the other end spot, Kellen Taylor, freshman nose tackle. In fact, Taylor and Cowart split a sack, but it seemed like all night the Beaver County native Jordan Karcheski, big 67, he was he was a problem for Geneva, even though maybe didn't rack up a lot of tackles, but just like you said, he was always in the way.
Yeah, we play a very specific and focused style of defensive line play, and what we're trying to accomplish, number one, to be the top rushing defense, which is what we strive to be every year, and then allow our linebackers to make plays. And I'll say this, Jordan Karcheski is as good as, and we've had some great ones, as good as we've had at playing the D-line position the way a Grove City defensive lineman needs to defeat too. He's one of the best we've had, and that was on display Saturday night.
Wolverines holding Geneva to minus 10 rushing yards last week, and then the secondary coming up with a couple of interceptions. One by a guy that made a position change, and another by a guy made his first start. Mason Klaus moving from safety to the dog position, from free safety into that slot hybrid position. He had an interception deep in Grove City territory to preserve a 19-3 lead. And then Keegan Frazier, the senior, starting at free safety, making his first start. He iced the win with an interception late. Good to see guys who are either in a new spot or doing something different in terms of starting, coming up big for the defense.
Yeah, first I'll just respond to one of the things you said there about the minus 10 yards rushing. There's many ways, different ways to attack it, but one thing to do is if, let's say, for example, Geneva came in throwing the ball so effectively the way they have, sometimes people go right to think, all right, let's take away the pass, when in reality, sometimes if you just completely eliminate the run and make them one-dimensional, then it makes defending the pass easier. So it's kind of not the way sometimes everyone would think of it, but if a team's, can do both but favors one, well, if you just completely eliminate the other one, like we were able to do Saturday night, it makes them one-dimensional and then makes the passing game harder. And I thought our defense had a great plan to do that. But with that being said, Mason Klaus, he's been unbelievable, and he's been versatile, playing multiple positions, and any place we put him, he makes plays. So he has been a very great highlight as far as, with a very experienced defense, a new guy this season in the first 4 games doing great things. And then Keegan, I mean, he's been so great on special teams. He gets his opportunity on defense, makes a big play like that, played a great football game, very physical in the run, contributed to that minus 10 yards rushing coming down from the safety position. Just proud of both those guys and how they've stayed positive in the midst of whether position changes or, waiting for their opportunity, and then their opportunity came and they made the most of it.
Another young man in the secondary that got his opportunity, not the biggest guy out there, Levi Teets. Geneva got him for completion on the first time they went his way, ended up with a couple of critical pass deflections, and then a touchdown-saving tackle coming from the other side of the field. Junior, who, like Keegan Frazier, has been on special teams, and his number was called, and he came through.
Yeah, I talked to the guys, both spiritually and on the football field, just living fully alive, playing fully alive, just having that joy and fun and flying around. And Levi, he lives that out on the field. He's flying around everywhere. I mean, he had down in the red zone, a big pass breakup on a very hard and over the middle type route, which as a corner is not easy to defend. And he came and batted it down, and you just see him excited. You see him flying, to go chase a guy down who breaks into the open field. That's what you want. I mean, you get a guy, get an opportunity. The number one thing you want to see is just relentless effort and just excitement and playing like a guy who's finally got his shot, and I thought he did, and that's why he stood out in some pretty big moments.
One of the, program tenets that you've talked a lot about, we haven't maybe talked about it as much this year, but one of the things you've always emphasized is great effort every play, no loafs.
Yep.
There were no loafs with him, and really with nobody, but with anybody on the team. But there were two plays that really stood out with that for me. One on defense, one on offense. The tackle that Levi made, and then on Grove City's first touchdown, Breck Peacock's 75-yard touchdown down the left sideline. Sam Penna, one of the other receivers on the play, sprinting down there and blocking the cornerback, getting enough of him, knocking him out of the way. Don't know whether he would have caught Breck or not. Sam Penna made sure he didn't.
Yeah, and you hit it. Effort every rep, no loaf. It's one of our three foundational statements in 2016 that we started with when we said we're going to build this thing. And obviously, it's never went anywhere and not going to go anywhere. And I think you highlighted the two that stand out. Just like you said, we talked about Levi and Sam Penna. That's something we certainly highlighted in film. Here and both were open. We went to the outside receiver, and instead of thinking, oh, I was open too, he just sprinted to go make a play and help secure a touchdown there. And those are the little things that have to happen if you're going to win college football games. And it was on display Saturday night, and a lot of cool things for us to build on, an example set for other guys of what it's going to take.
That 75-yard touchdown to Breck Peacock gave Grove City the lead, a lead in which the Wolverines did not relinquish. The first quarter was really the first quarter and a half. It was it was like a boxing match, the feeling out, and then it maybe almost because of what had happened the previous week. Was there a little bit of tentativeness offensively, or maybe these guys just kind of, I don't want to say tight, but all of a sudden after that touchdown, it was like everybody, especially Sutton Ellis, it seemed like the weight was off the shoulders, and they just went and played very well the rest of the night.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair assessment. I think there's no surprise. We talked about it that we. Graduating a ton on O that early in the season, trying to really, we know our identity, but trying to find it and fully live in it and play in it. And it was that hitting that big touchdown pass. I think you described it very well. It was almost like a weight lifted off, and we just started playing. And then you get to that third quarter. I mean, that third quarter drive was vintage Grove City College football. And it's run the football, be able to consistently run the football, long drive. And then when they load it, pull and make a great accurate throw, get us down to the 2-yard line, finish it. And again, you have an opportunity to make a play in the pass. You go score a touchdown, making an unbelievable catch. And that's the thing we talk about, playing full and free. And when you get into a little bit of a rhythm, you start to find yourself, you start to build chemistry. Guys start playing full and free and making great plays. And it is. And if you have a little bit of that, you're tentative at all, it looks like it did in the first quarter, and I think you described that perfectly.
The Wolverines closing the first half with a drive of over 6 minutes, capped by a second touchdown pass to Peacock, a 2-yarder. And then, of course, Geneva had won the toss, elected to receive, which means Grove City had the option to receive, and not surprisingly, the Wolverines took the ball. And another 6-minute-plus drive to go up 19-3, touchdown pass from Sutton Ellis to Daniel Sullivan, another 2-yarder to make it 19-3. Time of possession for the night, over 41 minutes, 18 and a half in the first half, nearly 23 in the second half. That's Wolverine football to the max right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want to do. We want to be in control of the football game, and a great measuring stick of that is time of possession. And to do that, two things have to be present on the offensive side. Is you got to be able to run the ball, obviously, but you got to be able to extend drives in the pass game, and that's what we were able to do this past week. And to us, that's one of the most exciting things now for us to continue to build on as we want to play just great offensive football and continue to build upon, and that's why you win time of possession. Both those things are happening.
Ian DeMary had been the feature back coming in 300 yards through the first 3 games. We saw a little bit of Shepard Miller last week, and he, of course, had started the first couple of games. But then Chase Rankin, who it's kind of been, I guess, maybe the third down back coming in the 4-receiver package. He became the man last Saturday night at Geneva. 157 yards, career high for him. And just from watching up high in the press box, just getting to watch, it was fun. It was fun to watch the surge the line was getting, and how his eyes and feet were connected and able to the vision and everything. What a great night for a guy who certainly paid his dues.
Yeah, and it goes back to, we've talked about this before. I felt we've had so many. Obviously, we've been running the football at an elite level for many years now. But I say 2023 was one of our best mixes because we had 3 different style of running backs, and I'm referring back to Nico Flatty, Clayton Parrish, and Joey Guida. And there would be games where I would call it a Clayton game, where you needed that run right through you, and then there was the Nico games where it was the quick feed and waiting for the hole to develop, being a little more patient, and then hitting it the last second. And we got and that's the way. Everybody has their strengths. It's playing to guys' strengths. And we got through the first quarter, and I remember we got to the end of the first quarter Saturday night, and I was like, this would be a Nico game if I was back in 2023. And I thought about it, and I was like, Chase has those similar feet. And, that's why we said, let's take a look here, and just all credit to that young man and the offensive line fullbacks in front of him. Man, talk about a guy who's waited his turn, never complained, never, because he's sometimes when you're that spread back, you go in, but you never get the ball, and so he's been into games, he just hasn't gotten many carries, but just always positive, doing his job, and then an opportunity comes, and wow, does he make the most of it. But that was the rationale of why to go to Chase, a little history there, but then so proud of just his attitude, his positivity, and when you respond that way, that's why you get rewarded the way you do, and you're ready to go, and he was. So all credit to him.
Of course, it all starts up front with the offensive linemen and then the fullbacks. And we'll talk about a couple of receivers that have taken on some different roles as well. But the Wolverines, the only negative play on the stat sheet was a kneel down. No sacks, no negative plays running the football. That's when you limit that, limited number of penalties, in those cases, so, you put yourself in position to win.
Wow, it's going back to 2018 when we first committed to this style of offense. Our first game we committed it to it. We went down to CMU and had 0 negative plays. That was the biggest thing I was proud of. Obviously the win, but then how we did it, and to hear that, I even really obviously I knew about the taking the knee, but really that was the only one. That's efficient football. I mean, it's playing smart, disciplined football. No sacks, not hurting yourself, penalties, no interceptions, and making plays when they come, and that's the fun part. This group, you start to see the signs of this offensive group coming together, including using all kinds of personnel, which sounds like you're going to want to go to here in a minute.
Yes. So I love that X and O, and certainly often it's players, not plays. And we often think about that: who's carrying the ball, who's catching the ball. But in terms of, I believe I counted 17 or 18 different guys having a prominent role of some sort, whether it's the second fullback, Dustin Hoddle, a couple of experienced veteran receivers, Wyatt Barzak, who was used more as a blocker, but is a receiving threat at 6'4", 220. Seth McGroarty coming in, who's a little bigger body than the guys starting, and Seth with some starting experience as well, using the 3 different running backs, extra lineman Ian Quinn. There was a little bit of something for everybody.
There was, and that's been the fun part. It's been a journey this first month, and we talked about we losing 10 guys who were heavily involved from a year ago. We still, into the season, have been figuring out, as we saw Saturday night, the best way for this group to operate. And that included bringing in Wyatt Barzak and Seth McGroarty at receiver, as bigger receiver types. Obviously in the fourth quarter, a lot of people call this your 4-minute offense, where what you're trying to do is, they know you're running, but you still want to run, because you want to chew off clock. we in the past maybe have had receivers that we would play out wide and bring in. Well, now we have guys who maybe specialize more in the pass component of receiver, but we have guys who also can catch the ball that can specialize in the blocking component of receiver. So let's find a way to use them. And I think that's something we can continue to build upon. So it has been fun, just really learning what this group needs to look like. And I think, now as we head towards the middle of the season, I think we have a good handle on that.
This week is game number 5 for the Wolverines, the 6th week in the 11-week regular season. Grove City hosting Waynesburg in the annual homecoming game. Coach and I are going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about today's homecoming opponent. We'll also talk about homecoming at Grove City College, a special day at a special place. All that and much, much more. But first, here's Joe Onderco with this week's PAC Football Report. This is the Andrew DiDonato Show, brought to you by Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash in Grove City.
Welcome to the PAC Football Report for October 11th, 2025. I'm Joe Underco. This week we will take a quick look back at last week's football action in the President's Athletic Conference, while also previewing Week 6 contest this Saturday. Week 5 proved to be clarifying in the race for the 2025 PAC title, as only 2 teams remain unbeaten in league play and are matched up this weekend. W&J and Westminster are both 2-0 in the PAC, with the Presidents posting a 70-13 road blowout at Hiram, while the Titans blanked Bethany at home 52-0. Grove City handed Geneva its first league loss with a 22-9 road victory, while Allegheny did the same at Waynesburg, winning 21-11. Finally, Case Western Reserve rolled to a 42-14 road decision at St. Vincent. Teal had the weekend off. Offensive PAC Player of the Week laurels in Week 5 went to W&J senior running back Kobe DeRosa, who posted 4 touchdowns, 3 on the ground and 1 receiving at Hiram. Defensive recognition went to Grove City junior linebacker Ben Bladel, with a school record 4 QB sacks at Geneva. Special teams honors went to Case Western Reserve freshman punter Nick Delfow, who averaged 41 yards per punt at St. Vincent. Newcomer of the week was Allegheny freshman quarterback Nick Barker, with 173 passing yards and 3 TDs at Waynesburg. The headline contest in Week 6 features 3-1 Westminster at 2-2 Washington and Jefferson for the President's homecoming game at Cameron Stadium in Washington at 2 p.m. W&J has dominated the all-time series 40-6, including a 21-14 win in New Wilmington a year ago. The winner will have sole possession of first place in the conference at 3-0 with 5 weeks to play. Veteran W&J head coach Mike Sirianni talks about where the season turned around for his squad.
Well, usually people don't like a bye week that early in the season, but I think that bye week hit us at a perfect time. So we kind of just reset the season, refocused, told them all their goals were still there. Okay, we just, we're starting the season 0-0 in conference play. So bye week came at a perfect time for us.
After playing 4 of their first 5 games on the road, 2-2-1 Case Western Reserve returns home to DeSanto Field in Cleveland for a 4:30 p.m. homecoming kickoff against 2-2 Allegheny. It's the 32nd all-time meeting in a series that Allegheny leads 20-11. However, the Spartans have won the last 5 meetings, including a 58-14 final in Meadville last season. Longtime Spartan head coach Greg Debelak previews the matchup against the Gators.
Yeah, they're a well-coached team on both sides of the ball. I see a defensively much more aggressive and attacking group than last year. They had so many things go wrong last year, and that staff has done a great job just righting the ship and getting their guys to play fast.
The lone night game on the calendar has Bethany in search of its first win of the season, as the 0-4 Bison host 1-4 St. Vincent at Bison Stadium in West Virginia at 7 p.m. The teams are meeting for the 21st time, with Bethany leading the series 14-6 all-time, including a 21-13 victory in Latrobe in 2024. Bison head coach Brandon Robinson talks about hosting a night game for the first time at Bethany.
In past years, our night games have been away, so it's been kind of nice. You get to travel, and that fills up your time pretty good. But being a home game, this is my first home game here at Bethany that's a night game. I'm sure it will feel like a long day. I'm sure it will. But the reason that we want to do is we want to have some excitement. In the evening, playing with the lights, and thought it would be fun for the guys. So I'm looking forward to that.
In other Week 6 conference contests, 2-2 Grove City hosts 2-3 Waynesburg for the Wolverines' annual homecoming contest at Thorn Field in Grove City at 2 p.m. It's the 61st all-time matchup between the Presbyterian rivals dating back to 1903. Grove City has won the last 6 meetings, with the last Yellow Jacket win in the series being a 14-10 final in 2016. Finally, 2-3 Geneva travels north to Greenville to face 0-4 Teal in a 12 noon kickoff at Alumni Stadium in Greenville. The teams have met 48 times in a series which started in 1899. The Golden Tornadoes have won the past 9 meetings, including a 21-6 final in Beaver Falls last year. Hiram has the weekend off. That's all for this edition of the PAC Football Report. Log on to the conference website at www.pacathletics.org all season long for the latest news, scores, statistics, and other league information. You can also follow us on social media via X, Facebook, and Instagram. Links are available at the PAC website. I'm Joe Underko. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the stadium.
Valvoline Express, Karen Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy. Check your oil, check your fluids, and get you clean. Fast, friendly service for cars, trucks, and SUVs. Wiper blades or filters, check your tire pressure. Locally owned, nationally known. No appointment necessary. Valvoline Express, Karen Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy.
Ken Frenchak here at the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Experience. We're all about experience. The experience of our expert quick lube techs and also the experience we provide you with every oil change. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come here to the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City for the experience. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy. The Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Valvoline Express, Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy.
Welcome back to the Andrew DiDonato Show here on the Wolverines Sports Network. Ryan Briggs here, along with the head coach of the Grove City College Wolverines, Andrew DiDonato, getting you set for today's 2 p.m. homecoming kickoff. Grove City hosting Waynesburg. Coach, Waynesburg coming in, a team kind of up and down in the first half of the season, but a team that the thing that jumps out about them, especially offensively, 2 very capable running backs and a big offensive line. Sounds like a familiar refrain. Sounds a little bit like the Wolverines.
Yeah, they first of all, they were very close to be coming into this game 3-0 in the PAC, so a lot of credit to them coming out of the non-conference and getting a really hot start into PAC play. And yeah, I've said this before back with their previous running back as well. I really have felt that how they've tried to build it there is similar to how we've built it here. Get big offensive linemen, good running backs, feed the run game, let the running game set up a passing game that can build off what you're doing in the run, and they're doing that. They're one of the top rushing teams in the league early on in the season, and doing it with multiple backs. I think 2 backs that, man, they are versatile. They run up the middle. They're great pass catching. They use they run outside zone very well, meaning getting to the edge. So they'll run up the middle, but then they also have the speed to get the edge when it's there. I just think, I use the word, both of them complete running backs. It's not a thunder lightning. It's both can do it all, and I think that's where it all starts for Waynesburg.
Zane Cawley, all PAC performer, coming in averaging over 100 yards per game through the first 3 games, but he's been sidelined. But then Carson Shriver, 5'11", 205, out of Clay Battelle, which is just a short punt over the Mason-Dixon line in West Virginia, has come on as well as of late and is actually leading the team in rushing right now. And you mentioned that they're both 3 down backs. They list Cawley as the starter. Have they shown anything this year, maybe early in the season, with having them both on the field at the same time, or maybe is that something that we might see on Saturday?
I think it's something we got to be ready for. I think the biggest reason for so much of, and Carson Shriver's a great player, I think they use him anyway, but a lot of it's Zane has been banged up, and obviously with some maybe a week or 2 off, maybe be what he needed to get back to full strength. But even when one of those 100-yard games for Cawley, even you see wrestling with some injuries that allowed the other back to come in, and the crazy thing is they don't miss a beat when he comes in, and that's Zane's a first-team all-conference guy, which tells you everything you need to know about Carson Shriver. So I think just the injuries and things like that have really caused how they use them. But if both are fully healthy and available, the success they're having, we have to be ready for both to be used.
You mentioned them using the outside zone running a lot. I guess for those that maybe they might hear it but not exactly sure, what does that mean? What's that compared to maybe some what other teams do, whether the inside zone or a man blocking scheme where a player or a lineman or whomever has a specific assignment to block the end, the inside linebacker, whatever.
Yeah, man, one of the things that I think they do really well is with the outside zone, use the defensive pursuit against you. For example, if you get a team that flows hard to the ball, you want your linemen moving laterally and moving outside now to get them to flow. And then what you need there is a running back with great vision because, when your line is trying to all, step right for those listening and trying to get the ball to the outside, if they're able to get great angles, then that running back can hit the ball on the outside before your linebackers or anybody can get there. But what's really good with a running back with great vision, back to the late 90s Denver Broncos, Terrell Davis teams, they were built off the Alex Gibbs outside zone, is running backs like that, like these two. If you overplay it and pursue really hard because you can tell they're running outside, they're able to find that lane inside, stick their foot in the ground, and get through that hole. And so it's something where the ball really could hit anywhere, and you have to have great vision and kind of use what the defense does against them.
Okay.
That's kind of what it is, as opposed to maybe a style that's more about, hey, double teams, we're going to come right at you, we're going to come aggressive to get you. This one is we're going to try to get the ball outside, create running lanes inside, use the defensive pursuit against them, and that's what Waynesburg historically has done a great job of, and they got running backs who have that vision this year, that's for sure.
Certainly should be a great matchup, the Waynesburg rushing attack against the Grove City rushing defense. Turning our attention to the Waynesburg defense, they listed as a 4-2-5. I know that they've certainly have been multiple in the past with Dave Arnold, veteran defensive coordinator, first at Bethany and now at Waynesburg. Are they still primarily staying in the four-man front, or are they throwing the kitchen sink at people?
Yeah, they're really disciplined in what they try to do. A lot of four-man front, a lot of what I would call a 4-4 look at times. They really like to play that boundary safety down at the second level, more at linebacker depth. You see that to the field. Obviously, you have to with how many teams use multiple receiver sets to the field. But really just do a great job of, from both sides, using safeties to play at the second level, which gives you underneath pass defense, which allows you to play your corners off, kind of eliminate the explosive plays, a big thing they try to do with, a one high safety look, and but have those underneath holes, have multiple four guys, across the second level to try to shut down those lanes, and then they can add on to run because they're closer to the football. So, it's been a staple. Their defensive coordinator does a great job. He was at Bethany prior, so I've coached against him for multiple years now. And I think the thing I've always respected about what they do and why they're so good is they're very disciplined. They're trying to accomplish something specific defensively. And in some teams, it's great to be multiple and try a different thing every week. But for others, it's no, we know who we are. We know what we're trying to accomplish. We're going to get really good at it. And that's been a staple of this Waynesburg defense the last few years.
And I'm sure for you as a coach and play caller, game planner, all those things that every week you have a different challenge because everybody's doing something different. They're all playing with 11. I'm sure there are probably some common traits from week to week, but what Waynesburg's doing is certainly different than Geneva and W&J and so forth. Has to certainly and knowing you, I'm sure you really welcome that challenge.
It is, and that's where, we talked about the Geneva and why we went to Chase Rankin in that game, just because of the personnel. But there was also schematically things we did in that game that we didn't really do much in the first three games because how Geneva was playing us required us to do something a little bit different in what our blocking schemes looked like. And same thing this week, if they show what they've put on film, it would require us to they're kind of built to try to.
Here's Dacius Passmore and John Stewart, and then two freshmen starting, Marcus Crum and Marcus Mitchell. But obviously, if you're a freshman getting on the field in a pretty good defensive unit, it's the old adage. I'd rather be talented than experienced.
Yeah, and he made a big play. I mean, Hiram, who's playing a high level of offensive football, especially when they were coming into that Waynesburg game, they drove it down with a chance to win the game, and the freshman there made an interception in the end zone to seal that. I mean, big play, and that was a second interception in just that game. So in a game that was a back and forth, great plays. One thing that they do really well, though, is eliminate the explosive play. They really keep everything in front of them, rally to it. So that's, I think, one thing that this group does really well is keeps the ball in front of them, doesn't get beat deep, plays sound there, and just something we have to be ready for, to be willing to take what they give us.
It is homecoming weekend as well at the college, and Coach, of course, you've been around a while as an alum, as am I. Homecoming always a special time. The football game kind of is really a hub of homecoming weekend. The 2:00 kick with Waynesburg. What does homecoming mean to you?
Yeah, I look at our 4 bricks, and obviously the social brick, spiritual, social, mental, physical. But I think it's one of the best pictures we get of the social brick, of just that we say your cause is bigger than yourself. Well, that means a lot of things in this department. Obviously, we talk about Wolverines together, so your cause is bigger than yourself means, hey, football team, it's not just football, it's basketball, it's soccer, lacrosse, swimming, I mean, all the other sports. But then it's not just athletics, it's the campus. Well, I think no better picture of it, it's more than just the people you're here currently with. It's all those who've come before you, and that's what homecoming's about. What I do is I walk up to our team meal and I walk down on homecoming because I love walking past all the tents, and I'll see guys that, even the one year I played basketball with, people I went to school with that didn't play any sports that I haven't seen them in forever, and you see them with your kids. Obviously my wife and all her friends, and she went here, and guys who were here with my brother Dave when he was here. It's just special for me, and I think for so many, to realize that your cause is bigger than yourself. When you wear that G, you wear Grove City. There's many people that this institution and this place, thanks to the Lord, have just changed their life and changed them, helped them grow in their faith, helped them grow in their relationships, prepared them for their careers. And we love Grove City for all of those reasons, and I don't know if there's a better event that captures the impact this place has had on people's lives than the smiles and the celebration of what happens here on homecoming. And I just get excited thinking and talking about it, and I'm excited to just see all these people on Saturday.
And I think, too, in an era where, a lot of traditions at schools, big schools, small schools, whatever, they've gone by the wayside. But
Yep.
Homecoming now is... It has not changed much since from when you were in school playing, or when your brother was here, or when I was in school. It's certainly things evolve a little bit here and there, but the fact we still have a parade, we still have the floats and just all of the pageantry and so forth. Remember a couple of years ago, 2023, we played W&J here, and John Sacco, veteran sports writer who's been to scores of small college campuses over the years and lots of homecomings, and he just, and of course the game itself was incredible, but like a couple days later talking to him, he said just what a impressive, just everything, the showcase, everything it was. And to hear it from somebody who has been around and because maybe it's something that we maybe take for granted a little bit. We shouldn't, but sometimes it's thinking, well, homecoming like this is like this everywhere, and it's not. But for it to be like that and such and so well organized and so from our folks in the alumni office in the Carnegie building and cooperating with the borough and stuff, it just what an event that we have here every late September or early October.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it shows you, I think, an important lesson where, yeah, of course there's things sometimes that need to change. We live in an ever evolving world and technology, and you need to do in your job and just in schematically sometimes or whatever. There's times for change, but some of the best things are things that you just don't touch, and I think that's Grove City College homecoming. I mean, the parade's going to be at 11. You know that the 10th year reunion is going to be walking. And then the 15, then the 30, then the 40. I know when I'm walking past that there's going to be all those same tents aligned, down the quad. And then once I cross Rainbow, Bridge right there down on lower campus as I get to the field. And, we're going to start at 2. Because we're going to let everybody celebrate all of those things. And it's one of those things that reminds you, some of those best things are the things that you can depend on that are always there and that you just don't touch and don't change. And when you do it as well as this college does at homecoming, you don't mess with it. And Saturday will be another great experience for us to enjoy this place.
Reunion year for you, 15, right?
Wow. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
So that's
Yeah.
that's hard for me to believe. I'm
Yeah.
not in a reunion year, but next year will be. Next year
Yeah.
will be.
Yeah.
The Wolverines taking on Waynesburg, 2 o'clock kick. People always wonder, and we like to entertain and inform here. It's funny that it was a homecoming game with Waynesburg is the reason that we start at 2 o'clock. For the longest time, the PAC all games started at 1:30. That was the rule. There were no night games. There were no noon kicks. It was 1:30. That was the law of the land. Well, in 1999, Waynesburg was coming up to Grove City for homecoming. There was a traffic situation. I don't know if it was accident or construction or something on 79, but turns out Waynesburg was not able to get here when they wanted to get here prior to a game. So it ended up the game when they said, we'll give you an extra half hour. We'll start at 2 o'clock. And, of course, then Waynesburg jumped out and led 24-3 at the half. But then Grove City, or 24-7, but Grove City came back. Mike Kasherba, big punt return late to set up a touchdown. Brock McCullough, 3 interceptions. Wolverines win 28-24 on homecoming. And everybody like, hey, this 2 o'clock start's great for homecoming. Let's do it next year. And ever since then, we've started at 2 o'clock. So a little history lesson as well for everybody. Coach, we've talked about all this, but the best way to have a great homecoming weekend is a homecoming win. What are some keys for the Wolverines to get a win over this quite strong Waynesburg team?
Yeah, number one, we got to find our run game needs to go, and we need to find what that looks like. We've had multiple 100-yard rushers, different packages we've used, so we got to find which one early and establish the run. Like Saturday night, we got to hit those passes when they come. They're going to come the way we run the ball, and we got to execute and hit those. Defensively, with these two running backs, take away the run game. I mean, that's going to be a big challenge for us, but we have to do that and then not give up the explosive pass behind it when we take away the run. And then I just want to see us win the field position battle. I think we've been playing good special teams, but I think I want to see us dominate that category and our starting position be better than theirs every time we touch the ball. So I think if we do those things in all three phases, we have a chance to just have a special time on the field on homecoming.
Coach, always a pleasure. Best of luck. Enjoy homecoming weekend. Maybe jump in for that 15-year picture beforehand. But thanks for your time, and we will talk to you next week when the Wolverines go back on the road up to Allegheny.
Thanks, Briggsy.
That's Grove City College head football coach Andrew DiDonato. You've been listening to the Andrew DiDonato Show Brought to you by Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash in Grove City. When we come back, we'll go to the field. Mark Means and Jim Craven will have the call. Chris Birch is on assignment this week. Mark and Jim will bring you all the action of the homecoming game at Thornfield. It's Grove City and Waynesburg coming up next on the home of the Wolverines.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 12 private institutions and one associate member, the PAC thrives in athletics and academics. Now sponsoring 24 varsity sports, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics, with academics at the core of every program. With over 300 academic All-Americans and over 1,400 academic honor roll recipients with a 3.6 GPA or higher in the past year alone. Our student athletes
start and gets the Grove City first down.
That's a great job. The linebackers all stuck their nose in there. They were all at the line of scrimmage. Just that small hole opened up and left the second level completely open.
One to the left, two to the right side. Rankin remains the tailback, fullback on a winged that now goes in motion, and Anthony Brunette. High snap, Ellis gives the ball to Rankin again. Rankin breaks through the initial line, bounces off a tackle, and falls forward into Waynesburg territory down to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, another tough run. It's going to be the same thing here. Waynesburg wants to get it. They want to shut everything down at the line of scrimmage. But what's happening is that Grove City's doing a great job opening up the holes, and the entire second level is just nothing but green in front of them.
So Demiri now in at the tailback spot. They begin both fullbacks. It's Dustin Hoddle, the second fullback. Single receivers to each side. The cards go up with plenty of time on the play clock. The play clock now approaching 10 seconds. It is second down and 4 for the Wolverines. Ellis takes the snap, gives the ball to Demiri, and Demiri able to fall forward past the first down marker for the second consecutive first down on this opening drive.
Yeah, great job by that front five for Grove City. If you look downfield, all five of them hip to hip down there at where the tackle was made. So they're driving their legs and moving their feet. They're washing out that front four of Waynesburg, which is ultimately running into the linebackers.
Single receiver to the left. That's two to the right side with Sam Penna, the junior, in the slot to the right. Daniel Sullivan outside on the numbers to the right side. And that's Breck Peacock alone to the left side. Play clock now down to 8 seconds. Ellis play action to throw. Fires downfield, a little too much on the fastball for Sam Penna. And it brings up second down and 10.
Yeah, and I think what he was looking for was just to settle down in that zone there. He found the line right along the hash marks, was expecting it right in his chest, but sailed a little bit high. And I don't think he was able to get his feet set to get that pass off exactly the way he wanted to.
So it's Peacock, Penna, and Sullivan, the three wide receivers on this second down and 10. Opening drive for the Wolverines, left to right on this homecoming Saturday afternoon for the Wolverines. Burnett, the fullback, lined up on a wing to the right side. Play clock at 15 seconds. Now Burnett in motion, settles left side. Ellis drops to throw. Steps up, going to take a shot downfield, and that pass is overthrown, incomplete. But there's a flag on the play as the intended target was the leading receiver, Breck Peacock, the junior out of Wheaton Academy.
Pass interference, defense, number 13, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So they get Dacius Passmore, the senior out of Ocala, Florida, on that pass interference penalty and 15 yards, and the Wolverines have another first down.
Yeah, instead of looking at 3rd and 10, you're now looking at 1st and 10. And there was a couple of options down the field on that. There was a skinny post being run right down there, very open, and plenty of time back there. You just have to settle down a little bit and also maybe see the field a little clearer.
Going to bring in the receivers close to the line of scrimmage. On the left side, Sullivan on the numbers to the right. Rankin is the tailback. He will get the carry. And Rankin able to fall forward for a couple of yards.
Rankin on the run.
Rankin, 5'10", 195-pound junior out of Coventry Township, Ohio.
2nd and 8 at the 27 of Waynesburg.
And not a bad run again. They're right between the tackles. This is something they need to stick with, this ball control, clock control offense.
Going to put Breck Peacock to the left. Penna and Sullivan to the right side. Rankin the tailback on second down and 8. Cards go up as they check with the near sidelines. Play clock now down to 10 seconds as Ellis turns back to the line of scrimmage. Burnett goes in motion, settles right side. They give the ball to Rankin. Had a nice hole up the middle that he was able to bounce through and get across the 25 down to the 24-yard line. Rankin's really shown good vision the last couple of games running the football.
Yeah, and certainly he's got some holes opening up for him. Nathan Traynor, the left tackle, is just turning his man outside, which is just opening a roadway for this running game.
So they will keep the tailback in there with the offense as Rankin will look towards the sidelines with Sutton Ellis, the junior starting quarterback. Going to bring in the extra wide receiver as well in this formation. That's Cameron Epps, the freshman. Ellis, quarterback draw, went right up the middle, flag on the play. And Ellis is only going to get about 1.5 yards. This will bring up 4th down and probably a hold on the Wolverines.
Offense, number 77. 7-yard penalty. Correction, that penalty is declined.
So they declined the holding penalty on the senior Nathan Traynor out of Seton LaSalle High School. And it's going to bring up 4th down, and looks like the offense will stay on the field.
Yeah, I just said something good about him here, picked up a penalty on that, but it'll be declined. And Waynesburg will take their chance here on a 4th and 4.
So they will pass on the field goal attempt for freshman Brady Lane, who's long on the year is 44 yards, and go 4th and 4. Trips right, single receiver left. Ellis looks to throw. Ball popped in the air, batted around, and it'll fall harmlessly to the turf and incomplete. And the Yellow Jackets get the stop and now have the ball in the hands of their offense.
Yeah, great coverage. Just tried to run a slant to the inside. Looked like he was going to have it. Just a little bit of a hand in there, being able to push that ball away, and a turnover on downs for Grove City.
So it'll be Lucas Hudson, the starting quarterback for the Yellow Jackets. 6'3" sophomore out of Morgantown, West Virginia University High School. A number change for Hudson, originally 18, now wearing 12 this afternoon. Yellow Jackets put 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. They have a single back in the backfield with Hudson. They're going to run it on 1st down and run right into a host of Wolverine defenders for no gain on the play.
Driver on the run.
It's Carson Shriver, the junior, out of Fairview, West Virginia, 302 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season.
Yeah, and that just started with a stalemate at the line of scrimmage, and the linebackers coming in to fill. There was just nothing there. It was just the front 3 just being stronger.
So no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Opening drive for the Yellow Jackets, right to left here in the opening quarter. Hudson overlooks that Wolverine defense. He'll drop to throw. Time going to go underneath, and that pass is going to be deflected and incomplete. That's Danino getting a hand on that football to knock things away. Danino, 21 tackles and 1 interception on the season for the junior.
Yeah, I read that very well. You could see the running back just slip out of the backfield there, trying to pick up a few yards on the play, but Danino read it immediately, was able to knock that away.
10:05 to play. Scoreless opening quarter. 3rd down and 10 facing the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets 2-3, 2-1 in the President's Athletic Conference. So 2 backs now in the backfield with Luke Hudson, the quarterback. Wolverines showing pressure. They will bring pressure. Hudson rolling all the way back near his 5-yard line. Avoids that rush. Going to take a deep shot and throw this one away. And incomplete to the 40-yard line. And Grove City will now hold and force the Yellow Jackets to punt the ball away.
And that was simply the 3 men up front getting pressure on the quarterback. There was nothing fancy about that. No stunts run. It was just bull rushing that offensive line and trying to get to Hudson.
Landon Brady, the punter, averaging 31 yards a kick, has a long of 49. Dominic Danino, the junior, back to return this punt. Good snap back to him. Danino gonna let this short kick check up at about the 45, but it will roll to the Grove City 48-yard line. Not a thing of beauty, but an effective punt nonetheless.
Yeah, and it's going to get, I mean, it got that out from the shadow of their own end zone. They were even looking for a penalty on there, maybe for contact with the kicker there, but the official waved that off immediately. And Grove City, again, for their second possession, is going to start off a good field position.
So Bobby Benton, the junior center, leads the team to the line of scrimmage. Chase Rankin will be the tailback. Going to split Daniel Sullivan out right side, right on the numbers. Grove City 1st and 10 from their 48-yard line. Wyatt Barzak in there with the hand on the ground. Big senior wide receiver. They're going to give the ball to Rankin. Rankin's going to dive forward across the 50, fall forward to the 48-yard line. That's about a 4-yard gain. You love to see that from a running back, falling forward for extra yards.
Yeah, and you can see bending his knees, getting low, and more importantly, keeping the feet moving, following his tight end, his wing to that side. They were showing heavy. There was really not a question of where that ball was going.
So Peacock and Penna split out to the left. Sullivan to the right side. Burnett fullback on a wing to the right side with Rankin the tailback for junior quarterback Sutton Ellis. 2nd down and 6. We approach 10 minutes to play in a scoreless first quarter. Ellis play action, looking to throw, fires downfield. Breck Peacock makes the catch at the 40. That'll be a Grove City 1st down, and for Peacock, his 20th catch of the season.
Yeah, and the protection on the left side of that line was excellent. Burnett shifting down there, picking up and chipping that extra guy coming from off the edge, and that really gave him a lot of time to get that ball away.
So Peacock to the left, Sullivan to the right side, Ian Demiri now in the backfield. Wolverines leading rusher with 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. Demiri gets the carry, lowers the shoulder, falls across the 40, down near the 38-yard line. Demiri, the senior, 5'7", 225 pounds out of Penn Trafford.
Yeah, one of the things I love here is they're using essentially 2 fullbacks lining up behind the guards, and they become pulling guards is what they do. They're going right to the point of attack. For Waynesburg, probably the easiest thing to do is read them and just watch for the counter.
So it's 2nd down and 8. Just under 8 minutes to play in a scoreless first quarter. Brunette, wing to the left side. Fake it to Rankin. That's going to be caught by Sam Penna over the middle. And Penna down to the 26-yard line will move the chains with a Grove City 1st down.
Yeah, that's a route they've been looking for, and that's just something he's just sliding out there. Just a short angle pattern to the inside. He's been waiting for that, but just haven't been able to connect on the pass till just then.
So a pickup of 11, 1st and 10, Grove City. Peacock and Penna to the left, Sullivan right side. Chase Rankin is your tailback. Play clock at 15 seconds as Ellis overlooks the defense. Burnett in motion, settling right side. Fake to Rankin. Ellis pulls the ball down, now lost the football. Loose on the turf, rolling around the 30-yard line. And the Yellow Jackets will fall on that loose football. Jim Ellis got it knocked away from behind, and Waynesburg has the turnover.
Yeah, and you could see it as soon as he got the snap, he planted his feet. The anticipation that he was going to get rid of that ball quicker and that he didn't have to worry about the backside pursuit. Unfortunately, coverage was good by Waynesburg, and that essentially created an opportunity for that backside end to come in and grab him.
So 1st and 10, Waynesburg. 7:04 to play in this scoreless first quarter. Waynesburg defense has turned away Grove City on their first 2 possessions here this afternoon. Overcast skies here in Grove City, temperature in the low 60s. Hudson has split backs with him in the backfield, receivers to each side. He'll give it to his running back, running right up the middle. And that's going to be another short gain running off the short side. Looked like new ball carrier in there for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, and right off the right side there. Picked up a few yards here, but again, Grove City playing it well. You can see them going right to the point of attack, shifting off, and I like the backside. I'm watching them. They're not letting too much, leaving too much opportunity.
2nd at 7, 6.5 minutes to play in a scoreless first quarter. Set up on a wing to the left side. Hudson going to drop to throw. Has time, takes the one-on-one shot downfield and in double coverage. Receiver came down with the football for the Yellow Jackets. And they're going to have the ball in Grove City territory at the 39-yard line.
I don't think there was much more he could have done defensively. He had his arms up, was right in his face, and there probably could have been an argument for pass interference, but would have been declined nonetheless.
First down for Waynesburg at the 39.
So first down, Waynesburg from the Grove City 39-yard line. They want to go right back to the line. Receivers to each side, wing to the right, two backs in the backfield. They're going to turn and run the football on first down with Carson Shriver. And he's going to have about a 2-yard gain. It sets up a second down and 8.
Yeah, Waynesburg seems to favor that right side of the line. Looking for, maybe seen something in film that they think they can attack. But these are short gains, and these are 2nd and 8, third and 5. They stay in these situations. I like the odds on Grove City better that way.
So 2nd and 8. Ball on the Grove City 37-yard line. Again, split backs in the backfield for the Yellow Jackets with one receiver right, two to the left side. Play clock now at 5 as Hudson hands the ball off. And nothing doing that time on the run as the Shriver carries it back to the line of scrimmage, and it brings up a 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, the initial play design looked like it was supposed to go into the B gap there, but as soon as he got there, bounced right off the back of his own line, tried to get to the outside, but by then the Grove City pursuit was all there.
3rd down and 8. 4.5 minutes to play. Fast-moving opening quarter. Not a lot of stoppages so far. Going to split 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left for Luke Hudson, the sophomore quarterback out of Morgantown. Play clock down to 4 seconds. Looking to throw, fires downfield. That pass is going to be caught and good enough for a first down.
Pass complete to Floyd. Benino on the tackle.
Yeah, another simple route just coming up the hash marks there. Found some room between the corner, the safety, and the linebacker, just that empty area. And Hudson was able to feed the ball right to him.
So 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets at the Grove City 28-yard line. They will break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage now with one receiver to the right. They will have a diamond formation with 4 receivers to the left side. Hudson alone in the backfield. He'll drop to throw. Being pressured, rolling out to the outside, has a man come back to the football and toe taps the catch at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and I think there was a couple of options for him on that play. They had the 4 receivers to the left side. 2 of them do not look like traditional receivers, maybe large running backs. So it was either going to be a quick pass out there or the read was to the backside where they had one-on-one and couldn't, but ultimately couldn't complete that pass either.
Tyler Richmond is the receiver who made that 3-yard catch. Hudson, not much of a running threat. When you look at his numbers through their first 5 games, he's rushed for minus 10 yards. 2nd down and 7 from the 25. Hudson takes the snap, puts it in the belly of his running back. And he's going to be able to push the ball
Gain 3 to the 22.
down to about the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 3.
Well, that one right in the A gap there between the guard and the center. And Waynesburg just getting the better of it on that. Nothing fancy here for Waynesburg in their running game.
Running behind a big Isaiah Durham, the junior, 6'2", 295, out of Northeast High School in Philadelphia. So again, one receiver right, 2 to the left side on this 3rd down and 3 for the Yellow Jackets. Single back in the backfield. Wolverines showing some pressure. Fake it to the tailback. Hudson rolling out, setting his feet, taking a shot in the end zone, intercepted by Noah Wheeler. Good to see the sophomore back on the field, and Noah Wheeler pulls down another interception for this Grove City defense, his team leading 3rd on the season.
Defense, number 5. That 5-yard penalty will result.
All right, so the interception going to be wiped out there, Mark. Didn't see the flag there, but it was a well-designed play. You can see they all went to the right side. Looked like a zone run to the right, which opened up to the backside on that naked boot. Tried to hit him on the flag route, but Interception, a no-go, first down now for Waynesburg.
Wheeler, the sophomore out of McKinney, Texas, and McKinney Christian High School. Back out there on the Wolverines secondary.
Waynesburg is 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
So 1st and 10, Waynesburg from the Grove City 17-yard line. Two backs in the backfield with Luke Hudson. Fakes it, fires over the middle, and that pass is now intercepted by the Grove City secondary. That is grabbed by Dominic Danino, his second interception on the year for the junior.
And this one's going to count. And a lot of discipline showed by the Grove City defense there, but there was so much action in the backfield. It looked like it was going to be a counter there, but Grove City not buying into it. They make up for the lost interception and get one that will count.
So for Hudson, that is his 4th interception thrown on the season. Grove City now takes over in the shadow of their own goal line at the 5-yard line. So Sullivan's going to be the single receiver out to the right. Ian DeMary, 2 feet in his own end zone, is the tailback. Ellis calls for the football. He'll give it to DeMary. And DeMary keeps the feet churning, gets across the 5 and out to about the 8-yard line. So he'll pick up 3. It's 2nd and 7.
And Grove City doesn't need a lot of room to work here, but they got to get a few yards to get out of that area here. Coaches don't like to call too much. Your play calling becomes a little bit more limited, but DeMary going to give him some yards here and hopefully maybe open this up a little bit.
Ian Quinn, the extra offensive lineman, comes to the sidelines. DeMary remains the tailback with receivers right and left, and Burnett in there with Hoddle at the fullback spot. Down to 90 seconds to play in the opening quarter. 5 seconds on the play clock. Ellis to throw it. Fires downfield. Peacock makes the catch. Breaks a couple of tackles. Has the first down across the 20 and down to the 21-yard line. Peacock with his 21st catch on the season. And in the tackle, lost his helmet.
And that was a strong catch, getting right behind the outside linebacker and in front of the defensive back. And that was fit into a tight window. Great catch and run afterward.
So Peacock comes to the sideline for one play, and Seth McGordy going to check in at a wide receiver spot. The junior out of Middletown, Delaware, and Red Lion Christian. So 1st and 10, Grove City from their 21-yard line. Ellis to throw it again. Has time in the pocket. Now the junior elects to run, and he'll be submarine under at the 24-yard line. Gain a couple. And we'll see if Grove City can get in one more play here before we come to the end of the first quarter.
Good decision by Ellis here. They had looking for a post route and a 9 route down the sideline. Both of them were covered tightly. He immediately recognized that, tucked it away, and got upfield. Picked up a few yards here, just about 2nd and 7.
Game clock down to 15 seconds. Ellis looks to the sidelines. They don't have to snap this football if they choose not to. Ellis going to take the snap. Down and out to Sullivan, who made the catch, as he's able to hold on to a juggling catch right at the 30-yard line. And that looks to be the final play of our opening quarter here this afternoon. After we come to the end of one quarter, after one, it is Grove City and Waynesburg all tied up at 0 on the Wolverines Sports Network.
We'll flip sides of the field here. Grove City, after the turnover, they get the interception. For every Grove City College touchdown and cause turnover this season, Northwestern Mutual Gold Financial is proud to partner with Grove City College football to support the Grove City Area United Way. Gold Financial, located at 160 South Broad Street in Grove City. 3rd and 7 coming up for Grove City. They'll have the ball at their own 24-yard line as we get some things squared away here. So far scoreless here in what we understood it was going to be a running game.
And it was a fast-moving opening quarter with both teams kind of focusing on their running game. And we kind of knew that that would be how this game would try and go for both offenses.
Yeah, and you're talking about both their strengths defensively for Grove City, offensively for Waynesburg. Something's got to give. So far, Grove City, I think, getting the better end of this, other than the turnover that they had on the fumble.
So we will get set to begin our second quarter here momentarily on what has turned out to be a beautiful fall afternoon here at Grove City with the temperatures in the low 60s. And a picture-perfect day.
Yeah, we were out last night, too, and it got a little bit cool. I think I'm starting to believe summer is over.
Those are sad news.
Yeah, it was a wake-up call as I didn't have a jacket on initially, but Coach Gessler had a Carhartt on, so.
80 on Monday, in the 30s on Thursday. Welcome to the northeast part of Ohio and Pennsylvania. And that'll be a run on third down and short. And that'll be a first down carry for Ian DeMary.
You know, and this is going to be the style of game here where it's going to be a battle. Grove City doing, on a more positive end of these third down conversions and keeping these drives going.
So first and 10 for the Wolverines with one receiver out to the right, two to the left side, single back in the backfield. That is Chase Rankin, the junior. Play clock down under 10 seconds. Takes the snap, gives the ball to Rankin, trying to bounce to the outside, and Rankin's going to be pulled down about the 38-yard line.
Brought down by Stewart and Mitchell.
Yeah, that play was designed to go right off tackle. However, there was just a stalemate and a pile of bodies there. Was able to bounce it out to the left side there. Love the way he comes upfield. Both arms on the ball, staying low and staying square, going north and south.
8-5, second down and 5. Yellow Jackets going to substitute late defensively up front. 13:40 to play, first half, no score. Ellis turns, looks to the Cards on the near sidelines. Play clock down to 6 seconds. Ellis takes the snap, gives the ball to DeMary. DeMary ran through one tackle, ran over one defender, and hammered his way down to about the 42-yard line. This is going to be enough for another Grove City first down.
Kevin Willis, meet Mr. DeMary, dropping his shoulder there, getting low there, and I love the way he's built there. And this is more of the type of running back that teams like now, the shorter, stockier, stronger running backs. And you see why as he came in just knees bent and shoulder square.
Another first down conversion for the Wolverine offense. Out to their 43-yard line, right to left here in the third. Ellis to throw. Going to take a shot for Sullivan downfield, and Sullivan, yes. No, now they're going to say no, out of bounds. The two officials conferring on the sideline did not get the foot down in time. It'll be incomplete and bring up a second down and 10.
And it was a great route that he ran there. Got to the outside, more like an arrow route. And instead of breaking it off level, he came back to the sideline about 2 or 3 yards there, and that just took the defender off that route. Really opened it up, but unfortunately incomplete.
Second down and 10. Two receivers right, one to the left. Chase Rankin is the tailback for the Wolverines. 12:49, clock stopped on the incompletion here, first half, no score. Going to bring Breck Peacock inside the numbers, closer to the hashes, give the ball to Rankin, and Rankin full head of steam up the middle, down to the 48-yard line, and Grove City's been doing good, getting good gains on first down.
Yeah, and it really, if you're calling plays for Grove City, it opens up your book a whole lot more when on second down you can take a shot downfield or third down.
So this will bring up 3rd and 5 for the Wolverines. Brunette in motion, settles in the backfield. Ellis to throw it. Has time, one-on-one for Peacock, who was all covered up with contact, but no flag on the play. It's 4th and 5.
Yeah, may have gotten away with a little bit of contact before the pass, as opposed to just pass interference, but nonetheless it'll bring up 4th down, and Grove City will punt for the first time today.
So this will bring on the freshman punter Brady Lane out of Jefferson, Georgia, averaging an even 36 yards per kick on the season with a long of 60. So the punt returner back deep for the Yellow Jackets. Lane gets his foot into this high kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 19-yard line. That's Marcus Crum Jr., the freshman who played his high school ball at Warren Harding over in Warren in Ohio.
We may have heard of that place once or twice.
Been there a few times before.
Yeah, Molotov Stadium over there in the city of Warren. Plenty of NFL talent coming out of there.
So 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets as they take over in this scoreless tie with 12:05 to play in the first half. Hudson, single back behind him. Couple of receivers in the formation and a wing. Hudson takes the snap, flags will fly, and this is going to be a procedure penalty on Waynesburg.
It is now 1st and 15 from the
Yeah, this is a situation that coaches don't like. I often joke with Bob Gessler that every drive we started out with was 1st and 15. That's just the way that his call sheet went. But nonetheless, doesn't make a coach feel any better about that.
Games going on in the conference this afternoon. Geneva with a 38-20 lead on the Teal Tomcats in Greenville. That game being played in the early stages of the fourth quarter. They're going to run the football on 2nd down. And again, not a lot of running room as he's going to be pushed back.
Brought down by Jolly.
Jack Jolly with his 30th tackle of the season.
14 on the play. 2nd down and 14.
You can see Grove City committed to stopping that run. There was no defender more than 10 yards off the ball as they were crowding it to the inside. And obviously they feel pretty confident. They're able to cover these receivers on the outside one-on-one, but certainly stuffing that Waynesburg run game.
So it's 2nd down and 14. Shriver remains the tailback, the junior. And the 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right side. Hudson to throw. Now he'll pull down the ball and try to run, and he's going to be pulled down from behind. Kellen Taylor, the freshman, knows there to make the tackle and to bring up 3rd and long.
And I think he was looking for Tyler Richmond coming off the right side there, just trying to find some space, but couldn't get any separation. He had to look to his left side looking for a 2nd and 3rd option, and by that time, there was just nowhere to go.
Taylor will check out. Nick Clemens, the freshman out of Moon Township. Of course, if that sounds familiar, that is also the high school home of preseason All-American Ben Bladel. So this is 3rd down and 14. And Waynesburg will take a timeout. Jim, we will keep it right here as we have a chance to look at other action going on around the conference. A lot of eyes in the PAC on WJ in Waynesburg. That is a 7-0 lead for W&J with about 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter in that game. Other game tonight's coming up at 4:30. Allegheny is at Case Western, and St. Vincent will travel to Bethany under the lights for the 7 o'clock kickoff as that 3 games underway in the conference right now with some later starting games this week and next.
Yeah, you like to get those night games in here once in a while. Like to have one here as well. Great atmosphere.
Grove City will play Allegheny next Saturday for a 4 o'clock kickoff.
Very unique. Very few of those for Grove City.
First one I can remember. So 3rd and 14 with the ball back at the 16-yard line. Hudson has 2 backs with him in the backfield, 3 receivers in the formation with 2 to the right side. He will drop the throw, flag on the play, going to take a shot downfield, and that'll fall incomplete, but I think somebody may have come across a little early for Grove City.
Defense, number 50. Penalty, replay 3rd down.
Yeah, we'll get Nick Clements, the freshman, on the penalty.
It is now 3rd down
Make it
and 9.
3rd down and 9 now coming up for the Yellow Jackets.
Essentially, that will cancel out the false start penalty on Waynesburg earlier in the drive, and they're going to be back near to the original line of scrimmage. Threw that ball up there. I'm not sure where he was looking to go with that, although would have been a free play for him nonetheless.
So 3rd down 9, 10:30 to play in the half. We have no score between Waynesburg and Grove City. Luke Hudson, the sophomore quarterback, single back in the backfield with him. He will give it to his tailback on 3rd and long, and
Driver on the run.
he's going to be knocked down after a short gain is Carson Schriever. And this will bring up 4th down, and Waynesburg will elect to punt the football away.
I think they were just content to pick up a few more yards, give them some room so they can punt this one away and try to flip sides of the field on Grove City. Grove City starting with good field position here in their first couple 3 drives, minus the point where they got the interception.
So Bailey to punt, 29 yards on his initial kick. Feeling the pressure, and they partially block the kick. And able to pick up that loose football and get it across the 20 and down near the 19-yard line.
Recovered and returned by Jace Herrick.
That's Jace Herrick, the junior out of Greenville, on the return, and Grove City special teams sets up the offense in great field position.
Yeah, you almost could feel like that was going to happen. And on Waynesburg's last punt, they had contact with the punter, did not get a penalty, but you could see the ease by which they were coming up through the middle of that punt team. And you figured eventually that was going to happen. Didn't get all of it, but it was enough to keep it up in the air and set up great field position for Grove City.
So Grove City takes over at the 19-yard line of the Yellow Jackets. Single receivers to each side. That is Sullivan to the right and Peacock to the left. Both fullbacks in there with Ian Demary, the tailback. And they gave it to Demary, cutting short side. Now he'll cut back between the hashes.
Demary on the run.
And Demary's going to pick up a couple.
Helmet violation, offense number 39, at the ground 1 play.
So Demary lost the helmet. He'll have to check out for 1 play, and Chase Rankin will check back in.
Yeah, certainly no drop off there.
2nd down and 8. Play clock at 15 seconds. Game clock at 9:15 to play here in the first half. Play clock now rolling down to 5 seconds. Ellis takes the snap. Play action, looking downfield, had a man out there and just too far out in front of Daniel Sullivan. And the pass incomplete to the junior out of Simsbury, Connecticut.
Yeah, testing that far side, and it looked like Sullivan easily beat the defender on that. That's something they're going to come back to, although I think that's a play designed for more of a longer pass.
So 3rd down and 7. Sullivan to the right, Peacock in the slot to the left side. Excuse me, that's Penna in the slot with Peacock to the outside. Ellis to throw, gonna take a shot, looking for Peacock, jump ball in the corner of the end zone, batted away and incomplete. It brings up a 4th and 7.
Yeah, Peacock had an opportunity to go up for that, and that was one of those plays you throw the ball downfield and you let your athletes make the play. But great defense by Waynesburg, able to just knock that away. That's going to bring up a 4th down and a field goal attempt for the Wolverines.
Lane, 2 of 3 field goal attempts with a long of 44. Ellis will put his knee down at the 24, make this a 34-yard attempt from the hash to the right side. Lambert to snap it, and Ellis to hold. Lane gets the foot into this one, has plenty of distance, and the kick is good. So 8:48 to play here in the first half. Lane connects on his 3rd field goal of the season, and Grove City has taken the 3-0 lead, Jim, with 8:48 to play.
Yeah, and this is just a battle at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be how many yards you can get up front there. We're going to eat the clock up here, and we may have to depend on some field goals. It may turn out to be that ugly kind of game, but we'll take it any way you can get it.
So Lane connecting on the field goal for Grove City on our first scoring drive of this homecoming afternoon. And so both defenses have kind of really stepped up and shown that they know the opposition is going to run the football and try to do the best they can to contain it.
Yeah, and I think that what's going to tilt in the favor of Grove City is the passing game, I think, is there. They just haven't connected on it. The patterns are open. It's just a matter of being able to time that up.
So Lane will get set to kick the football away with the ball spotted at the 35-yard line. The two returners back deep for Waynesburg, right about their 5-yard line. Lane drives this one over the head of both returners about 4 yards deep and in and out of the back of the end zone.
Well, that's good. You don't have to worry about a return here. They'll have to go 80 more yards to see if they can put something together here. But the way these offenses are running, time is going to be the issue here because the clock just continues. This is a very fast-paced game.
This is homecoming weekend at the college, and we're also already looking forward to homecoming 2026. Homecoming 2026 will be the 100th anniversary of homecoming and the 150th anniversary of Grove City College. Save the date for October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2026, when we'll have our first night home game on homecoming. So 1st and 10, Hudson dropping to throw. Throws underneath, pass caught, first down yardage, a pickup of about 12. Only catch to the outside looked like Tyler Richmond able to make that reception.
First consequential completion for Waynesburg. That'll keep the clock going, but I've already reserved my dates for homecoming next year. So
you ready?
Night games here. I don't know. I like to be here for those.
Richmond, his 22nd catch on the season for the Yellow Jackets. They're going to split two receivers right, one left. Single back in the backfield behind Luke Hudson. Turn, give the ball to his tailback, tripped up and dropped in the backfield. Another tackle for loss for Ben Beladle, who found the gap, and this senior dropped the running back in the backfield for a 1-yard loss.
You have to be entertained by watching Beladle play. The way he slugs us through those holes, and how you don't account for him, I don't know. But the tackles for loss are huge, and especially in a game like this when when this is going to be just a run game.
2nd and 11. Ball back at the 37-yard line. Hudson takes the snap, fakes to his running back, reverse pivot, going to fire downfield, and that pass is going to be incomplete. Looking for Elijah Jackson, the sophomore receiver.
Now Jackson come from the left side there on a drag route, but on the drag route he was trying to gain a little bit of depth there behind the linebackers, but not as deep as the safeties, but great coverage by Grove City. Going to bring up a 3rd down situation again, working beyond the markers for Waynesburg.
So 3rd and 11 for Luke Hudson and the Yellow Jackets offense. 7:21 to play here in the half. Play clock now down under 10 seconds. Twins the east side of the formation. Single back in the backfield. It's as Hudson looks to throw, and that pass is going to be intercepted. Dominic Danino running down the sidelines. 20, 15, stays in bounds. 10, 5, touchdown Wolverines. Dominic Danino with his 2nd interception. He takes this one all the way back for a Grove City touchdown.
Yeah, everybody was running seam routes there, and it looked like one guy on the outside or to our near side was supposed to come back, but didn't come back in time. Pass not where it should have been. Danino looked like a receiver out there on that return.
Grove City's 2nd defensive touchdown on the year. And now this will bring on for the extra point Brady Lane, who's 9 of 10 on the year. Snap down, extra point on the way, and that kick is up, and it is good. Good snap by Lambert, good hold by Ellis, and Lane connects on the extra point, and the Grove City lead, just like that, is double digits.
Yeah, and the first touchdown comes defensively, and you know what that means? Because for every Grove City College touchdown and cause turnover this season, Northwestern Mutual Gold Financial is proud to partner with the Grove City College football to support the Grove City Area United Way. Gold Financial at 160 South Broad Street in Grove City.
So the interception by Danino for the Grove City touchdown has made this a 10-point lead for the Wolverines. It's that secondary with their second interception here this afternoon. After a season-high 6 interceptions week 1 against Cortland.
They had absolutely outstanding performance and on the road nonetheless. As Grove City stepping up in their schedule this year, and as this program develops, they need to take on those tasks. And of course, they've competed against the Mount Unions this year, and they're just going to get better out of that. You're going to find out who you are, where you're weak at, and where you need to get stronger. And this is going to be a nationally competitive team. Already is to a degree.
So Lane set to kick the football off. 2 returners back deep at the 5 for the Yellow Jackets.
Lane to kick off.
So Lane will get his foot into this one high. This one deep, fielded at the goal line. And the official threw a flag and stopped play. Not quite sure what this is going to be for.
No, this came from the...
Fair catch.
Okay, so going to indicate that Waynesburg called for a fair catch and then tried to return it.
The fair catch was given by a player that did not receive the kickoff. Therefore, the penalty being forced to where the reception was caught. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So
that's the first time I think I've ever seen that. So obviously, we have a referee that has absolutely read the rule book. But I think the fair catch, he's saying, came from the other side, but didn't know he was not the one who made the fair catch.
Our referee, Kenny Johnson, this afternoon. So Waynesburg's going to start this drive with the football just outside the goal line.
The ball will be spotted at the 1-yard line after the penalty.
At the 1.
So the head linesman called it right here from the pylon. Interesting call. Again, I've never seen that call, but obviously a well-versed crew here.
So now giving the explanation to the Waynesburg coaching staff who, like us, had questions.
I was just going to say, if they had the same reaction we did, I wouldn't be surprised.
So 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from their 1-yard line. Hudson going to work out of the pistol, single running back with him in the backfield. Bladel showing pressure up the middle. Hudson going to throw it. Going to take the deep shot downfield. Jump ball. That's going to be caught. Coming back to the ball, Tyler Richmond just jumped in the air between 2 defenders and came down with that football.
Yeah, I think Richmond's got a little bit of a height advantage there, but not only that, but was able to go absolutely get to its highest point, attack the ball, and bring it in. And a lot more breathing room now here out at the 33 after getting the penalty on the kick return. And I believe we have a Wolverine down on the Grove City sideline.
Right, there's a player down in front of the Grove City bench, surrounded now by the coaching staff. And we will step aside for a break and come back with more on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 12 private institutions and 1 associate member, the PAC thrives in athletics and academics. Now sponsoring 24 varsity sports, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics, with academics at the core of every program. With over 300 academic All-Americans and over 1,400 academic honor roll recipients with a 3.6 GPA or higher in the past year alone. Our student athletes excel in athletics as well as the classroom. Want to learn more? Visit us at pacathletics.org or follow us on social media.
We welcome you back here to Grove City College as they are tending to the player that is down in front of the Grove City bench. And it looks like that is Dominic Danino, number 4, who getting some help off the field from a couple of his teammates. And It's been a big first half for Danino in the secondary for the Wolverines.
And I have to suspect that he went up for that ball as well. Maybe came down awkwardly on that ankle. They were pretty far up there.
So we will see Bowden Davidson now in at one corner spot, Noah Wheeler at the other on 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Turn and run it on a first down, and Ben Bladel there to throw the running back down. Carson Schriever give him 1 yard on the carry.
Bladel has such a high defensive IQ. Instead of being over aggressive and getting into the backfield, you can see he works right down the line of scrimmage and waits till they come to him. And he just has such a knack for seeing that angle. He's such a sure tackle there. Absolutely impressive.
So 2nd down and 9. Ball back to the 34-yard line. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to play here in our first half of action. Split backs in the backfield with Hudson. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right side. Play clock under 5 seconds. Hudson drops to throw, goes underneath, pass caught, and then coming back trying to dive for the sticks. That is Tyler Richmond on the reception. He's going to be about 2 yards shy at the 41-yard line. It's 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, they had 2 running backs in the backfield that went straight out into the flats on patterns. So the corners and outside linebackers had to choose what they were going to do if they were going to stay in the zone, go into a man. And they had to make that choice. And Waynesburg gets the completion, bring it up a 3rd and short now.
So 3rd down and 2 for the Yellow Jackets from their 41-yard line. Hudson takes the snap, fakes it to his running back, fires downfield. That's another catch for Tyler Richmond on the timing throw and a 1st down for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, Grove City defender just playing too far off the ball there, giving him some room on that slant. And a nice completion for Waynesburg. They're going to make it onto the Grove City side of the field.
Just under 5 minutes to play here in the first half. A 10-0 lead for this Grove City Wolverine football team here on homecoming. Richmond going to go to the left side, put a receiver tight to the formation to the right. Hudson overlooking the defense. Will drop in a play fake. Has time. Going to take a shot downfield for Richmond, and it just off his hands at the 5-yard line and incomplete. Richmond a little slow to get up. Now he will get up and jog back to the huddle and brings up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, he's going to go back down on the field there. Really sold out for that ball, reached out for it, came straight down on his chest. Probably got the wind knocked out of him a little bit, but a great pattern here. Just couldn't time up the pass, couldn't connect on it, but give that young man an A for effort, if nothing else.
On the scoreboard in the President's Athletic Conference, 6:33 to play 4th quarter. Geneva 51 and Teal 26. W&J now holding a 10-0 lead over Westminster. 9:47 to play in the 2nd quarter. Allegheny at Case Western and St. Vincent and Bethany coming up later. So Richmond will make his way to the far sidelines. Waynesburg facing a 2nd down and 10 off the injury stoppage with 4:24 to play in the half.
And again, a fast-moving half here. Kickoff here at 2 o'clock. 2:54 now here, so we're nearing halftime.
And we've warmed up to a balmy 64 degrees.
I think that's still a little too cold.
2 receivers to each side of the formation. Single back in the backfield with Luke Hudson. Play clock now down under 15 seconds. Play fake. Hudson looking to throw. Goes over the middle and the pass caught for a 1st down. Down to the 35-yard line.
Hudson's pass complete.
That's Isaiah Fields, number 2, the receiver out of Cumberland, Maryland.
Waynesburg going to the passing game here a little bit more. They're not having any success on the run game. The Grove City front 7 have been just way too tough for that. And now they're going to have to do something that maybe they don't normally do, but so far so good for the Yellow Jackets.
So first and 10 from the Grove City 35-yard line. Hudson takes the snap, puts the ball in the belly of his running back, who runs into a host of Grove City defenders led by safety Ryan Montgomery.
Yeah, Grove City not, again, being disciplined, not trying to look into the backfield too much, reading their keys, and keeping these carries to 2 and 3 yards apiece.
So Carson Shriver, the junior, picks up to 2. Going to bring in the extra receiver and sophomore Isaiah Fields. Down now under 3 minutes to play here in the first half. And Waynesburg with some confusion on the field on the formation they wanted to be in, so they will be forced to burn a timeout with 2:51 to play. We'll step aside for a break and come back with more here on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Valvoline Express, Karen Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy. Check your oil, check your fluids, and get you clean. Fast, friendly service for cars, trucks, and SUVs. Wiper blades or filters, check your tire pressure. Locally owned, nationally known.
Ken Frenchak here from the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Fall. Leaves are changing. Why not get a jump start on the season and get the oil changed in your vehicle? We have your grade of Valvoline oil regardless of your gas or diesel engine. We stock most air filters and windshield wiper blades. So don't forget, we offer 2 automatic car washes along with 2 self-serve bays. Stop by to have your car run and look great. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come to us for the experience.
Valvoline Express, Karen Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy.
Back here at Robert E. Thorne Field, 2:51 to play in this in this first half. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right side, 2 backs in the backfield. Hudson, play action, looking to throw, goes downfield, receiver comes back to the football and makes the catch. That's another Waynesburg first down.
Yeah, the passing game for Waynesburg starting to click here, although Grove City's forced them into this passing game. If there had it not been for a penalty, we'd be looking at 2 or maybe 3 interceptions at this point. But so far, Waynesburg doing an excellent job on this particular drive.
So first down at 10, Grove City. 2.5 minutes to play here in this first half of action. Two receivers go to the left. Running back is to the left of Luke Hudson, the quarterback. Play clock at 3. Hudson hurries the throw. Pass is going to be complete downfield. That's Isaac Trout, the senior, with the reception inside the 20 and down near the 18-yard line.
Well, the corners for Grove City are playing a little bit of distance off there, so they're going to try to take advantage of that. Trout, though, having to go high for that, which threw off the timing a little bit. May have picked up a few more yards had he had the ball thrown right to him.
That is the 2-minute timeout here in the first half. We'll step aside for a break and be back with more here on the Wolverines Sports Network.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
We are back to action as the ball is going to be fumbled inside the 5-yard line.
First down, ruling on the field, a fumble recovered by Waynesburg. First down.
All right, so the pass caught and dropped and then recovered. Thought for a moment there that Grove City had recovered that there, but the officials disagreed. Initially, I thought he would have been down.
So they call this, it'll be 1st and goal at the 6-yard line for Waynesburg. At the big back in Carson Schriever at 5'11" and 205. Hudson back to throw, looking for the back corner, and that's incomplete, but multiple flags come out at the end of the play.
I don't know if I agree with that one, Mark. Wheeler looked like he was right there. The ball went off of the receiver's head. He was clear at the time that pass was thrown, and had he been turned around, he would have caught that.
Pass interference, defense number 1. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line, automatic first down.
So the penalty on sophomore Noah Wheeler makes this 1st and goal from the 2-yard line for the Yellow Jackets.
Now, they obviously saw it different than I did, but I don't think it inhibited his ability to catch that pass. Ultimately, again, the ball going off the top of his helmet.
So 1st and goal from the 2, 1:14 to play here in the half. So Shriver takes the football, and he's going to be stopped right at the 2-yard line. It's Ryan Montgomery in there on the stop.
I think it's going to be a little bit tougher for them to run this one in here. As this field shrinks, Grove City has less responsibility on that pass.
So they will add 5 seconds to the game clock and make it 1:08 to go here in the first half. So Grove City will take the timeout. We'll keep it here as it continues to be overcast and a little chilly this afternoon.
Yeah, but a great afternoon for football here. And again, homecoming here in 2025. And plenty of friendly folks here. Speaking of homecomings, homecoming weekend at the college, and we're also already looking forward to homecoming 2026. Homecoming 2026 will be the 100th anniversary of homecoming and the 150th anniversary of Grove City College. Save the date for October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2026, when we will have our first night home game on homecoming. And I seem to have a lot of luck when I show up here on these night games.
Looking forward to that already. So 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line for the Yellow Jackets. We were going to take this snap. He's going to look for the end zone, and he's going to get in from 2 yards out. So Waynesburg gets themselves on the board with 65 seconds to go here in the first half. And this will bring on their kicker, Drew Pinkerton, to attempt the extra point. 13 of 14 on the season. So Riley to snap it. Burke will hold. Pinkerton on for the extra point.
For the conversion.
Snap and hold are good. The extra point is up, and it is good. And Waynesburg gets themselves on the board with 65 seconds to go in the half. And Grove City has those 65 seconds and 2 timeouts to work with.
Yeah, that's a ton of time to work with. And I think, obviously Waynesburg was assisted by the penalty on the pass interference. Again, I will call that a little bit questionable, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt since they had the better angle. Obviously, I have a soft spot for the guys out in stripes there. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that one. But again, Waynesburg set up at the 1-yard line. And a good run game nonetheless.
So Grove City going to get the football back. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be with the 3-point lead. And knowing that Waynesburg will get the football, Jim, to begin the third quarter.
Yeah, and that's why I always like to have that in the third quarter. You like to set that tone. You like to grab that momentum in that first drive. But defensively, no complaints for Grove City. Again, a few penalties there that kind of help Waynesburg, but Grove City will just have to settle down. And you never see much panic on the sideline for the Wolverines. So a long way to go here with 2 quarters remaining.
So Pinkerton will set up to kick the football. As he'll get the ball teed up at the 35-yard line. Looks like it's back deep for Grove City. It looks like Rankin and Epps back to return. It's his foot into this one. High, deep kick. Rankin from the goal line across the 5, 10, 15. Cuts back to the 20. And down near about the 22-yard line.
Epps on the return.
That's Cameron Epps, the freshman out of South Allegheny.
First and 10.
Grove City will have 58 seconds and a pair of timeouts to work with.
Yeah, Waynesburg's going to have to be a little bit careful coming in there late like that. I'm surprised there wasn't a flag thrown at the very end of that play. It would have been a nice additional 15 yards, but the flags remained in the pocket on that one.
And not a lot of penalties in this one as we reach the midway point for Grove City.
No, very disciplined teams both ways.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left side, single back in the backfield with Sutton Ellis, the quarterback. Ellis looks to throw. He'll climb in the pocket now, feeling some pressure and gets sacked back near the 20-yard line. Grove City did not give up a sack last week against Geneva. That's the first one here this afternoon for about a 2-yard loss.
And we'll give credit to the Waynesburg secondary taking away the options. There was really nowhere to go. So you just kind of eat the ball there and look for another play.
2nd down and 12. Ellis to throw. Double move for Peacock, and that one's thrown too far towards the sidelines.
3rd and 12.
And it brings up a 3rd and 12, but stops the clock with 28 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, Peacock was supposed to have kind of a whip route coming down to about the 30-yard line. Didn't get his head around quick enough, and I think Ellis threw that ball a little quicker than he wanted to.
So 3rd down and 12 with trips to the right, single receiver left side. Play clock at 15 seconds. And now Grove City will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts with 28 seconds to go here in the half. Try and give Ellis a little bit more time in that pocket to throw the football.
Yeah, not much time to work with here, 28 seconds. But Waynesburg ate up a lot of clock time on that last drive. And with a run game like that, you would expect that. But Grove City's going to have to come up bigger on those 3rd downs. And with this passing game, Waynesburg looking a little bit tighter now. Able to get the ball out there and a little bit better than I thought they would. But also, if you can put any pressure on them, you're going to get some interceptions. You already have 2 in the game. And I'm sure that if they can maybe start to pull a little bit here, maybe get some more pressure on there, you're going to have maybe another extra one coming up.
So off the timeout, Wolverines facing a 3rd and 12 with 28 seconds to go. Here in the first half of action, Grove City with a 10-7 lead over Waynesburg. Going to bring the receiver in tight for some extra protection. Single receivers to the right and left. Grove City going to run the football. And that's Rankin on the carry.
Rankin on the run.
Down to about the 26-yard line.
And Polynese.
Timeout, Waynesburg. Please reset the game clock to 22 seconds. 22, please.
So now Waynesburg will use their remaining timeout with 22 seconds to go in the half, and they will force Grove City to punt the football.
Yeah, 4th down here, Waynesburg looking. Maybe you can get a block punt. Maybe you can set yourself up with a nice return. They'll take an opportunity at that. 1 timeout remaining for Waynesburg to work with.
And Brady Lane has kicked the football well here this afternoon for Grove City. And we've seen the freshman, he handles everything in the kick game. Field goals, extra points, he punts and kicks off.
Which is odd because a lot of these things are becoming so specialized with the punting and the field goal kicking and the kickoffs. So I've seen many teams here this year, 3 people doing 3 different jobs. So pretty impressive when you have that skill that you can do all of that.
Lane, the freshman, Jefferson, Georgia, Mill Creek High School. Following his older brother here to Grove City.
Lane to punt from deep.
So back to return this punt is Marcus Crum Jr., the freshman we mentioned out of Warren Harding. Play clock, 17 seconds. Snap back to Lane. It's off a high kick. Crum Jr. calling for the fair catch, drifting back inside the 30.
Crum on the fair catch.
And he will make that fair catch right at the 30-yard line, and Waynesburg will have 14 seconds remaining in the half.
What a great tool to have in a toolbox there. High punts there, letting your punt team to get down there and cover that. No return. And Crum, if he's out of Warren Harding there, he's probably got some skills. We've probably seen a few returns from him as well. But with a punt like that, you're not going anywhere.
Not the biggest guy out there, 5'11" and 146 on the roster.
I don't think he'll be filling in at right guard anytime soon.
So it looks like the Yellow Jackets, after forcing the punt, they're going to be content to take a knee with Hudson. And that will roll the final 12 seconds off the clock here in the first half of action, as both teams will make their way to the locker rooms.
That's the end of the second quarter.
As they will hold up Grove City, let Waynesburg come across the field, as they will head to the far end of the locker rooms off to the left. Grove City making their way to the home locker rooms on the right side. And a slim lead, but they lead nonetheless, Jim, for Grove City at the half, 10-7.
Yeah, and you listen to the pregame and you look at the things that have happened in the first half of this season and what they're good at here. You would expect this to be a low-scoring game with those type of with that run offense. Go both ways, actually. So to say it's a 10-7 game at half, not surprising. But at this point, getting into the second half, it's going to be about not turning the ball over, and then it's just going to be a game. It's just going to be a game of will.
And you look at it, it's been a game of effort, a game of just making sure that you're able to maintain the football, and whoever can make the most splash plays coming up in the second half.
Yeah, and I think that Grove City will look back on that initial fumble by Ellis and hope that wish that they could get that play back. They were deep in there on the Waynesburg side of the field. There was an opportunity there missed, but that opportunity was kind of washed out when you get two interceptions defensively from the Wolverines, set up the offense for some opportunities. But again, it's going to be a tight game here just based on the type of offense these two teams are playing.
So we get set to head to the locker room, and while we have a chance, we will step aside for our first halftime break and be back with more here on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 12 private institutions and one associate member, the PAC thrives in athletics and academics. Now sponsoring 24 varsity sports, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics, with academics at the core of every program. With over 300 academic All-Americans and over 1,400 academic honor roll recipients with a 3.6 GPA or higher in the past year alone. Our student athletes excel in athletics as well as the classroom. Want to learn more? Visit us at pacathletics.org or follow us on social media.
Valvoline Express, Karen Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy. Check your oil, check your fluids, and get you clean. Fast, friendly service for cars, trucks, and SUVs. Wiper blades or filters, check your tire pressure. Locally owned, nationally known.
Ken Frenchak here from the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Fall. Leaves are changing. Why not get a jump start on the season and get the oil changed in your vehicle? We have your grade of Valvoline oil regardless of your gas or diesel engine. We stock most air filters and windshield wiper blades. So don't forget, we offer 2 automatic car washes along with 2 self-serve bays. Stop by to have your car run and look great. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come to us for the experience.
Valvoline Express, Karen Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy.
Family
Welcoming you back here to halftime on the campus of Grove City College as the Wolverines holding a 3-point lead at 10-7 over the visiting Waynesburg Yellow Jackets, who make their first appearance here at Robert E. Thorne Field in 7 years between the COVID-19 pandemic and a couple of adjustments with the Grove City schedule. It's Waynesburg here for the first time. You and I got to call this game last year at Waynesburg.
Yeah, and again, the only thing I remember is having to carry that equipment up that stadium, and I'll tell you, it's kind of a stress test. Something you would actually get from a doctor, but nice facility down there. Had a good time watching that from up top. And for Waynesburg, they get to make the trip to Grove City here on homecoming weekend. You never want to be the opponent on homecoming, but they have made a good accounting for themselves here in the first half despite the turnovers that they've had, but a long way to go in this one here with the second half coming up.
And lots of big games going on around the President's Athletic Conference here this afternoon. Under 2 minutes to play in Greenville, and Geneva with a 51-38 lead over the Teal Tomcats. W&J with a 17-0 lead over Westminster as they hit the 2-minute timeout in the first half of action in Washington, PA. And both of those two teams, the lone unbeatens in the conference, so a lot of eyes on that game.
Yeah, and you see so much parity now in the PAC here. Again, some teams struggling record-wise, but competition's been good, and teams really competing hard here. And PAC football, some of the best football here in the area, and it's a good time here. I mean, enjoying it, and you love to see the evolution of Grove City again, even with their schedule stepping up and going on the road and heading up to New York week 1 and taking on the Mount Unions of the world here. This has been a lot of fun just watching this evolution under Coach DiDonato.
Couple of other games set to get underway in just about an hour and a half or so. It'll be Allegheny at Case Western Reserve. And under the lights from Bison Stadium in Bethany, West Virginia, St. Vincent and Bethany will play their night game. As we heard on the PAC report, looking forward to that game down there for the Bison, as most teams playing that one lone night game throughout the schedule.
Yeah, and a little bit surprising here because this is just a great facility, but a tradition here. You know, you're going to play at certain times, and there's never a bad time for college football, I'll tell you that much.
You look at the upcoming schedule for the Wolverines. They will be on the road next Saturday, the 18th of October, as they take on Allegheny. And that will be the lone late afternoon game on the schedule this year. That'll be a 4 o'clock kickoff next Saturday.
Yeah, a little bit odd for us here, but Allegheny, I believe, first year back here in the PAC and trying to compete. And I'll tell you, it's a tough place to play now. So for them, this is going to be a growing year and getting back into the swing of things here with the President's Athletic Conference.
The Wolverines round out the month of October with a 1 o'clock game right here at Robert E. Thorne Field, meeting Westminster for the 107th time. A rivalry that dates back to 1892.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to go back and see video at the beginning of this rivalry, so it's been that long. But to say that you've done this 107 times, that says a lot about the programs here. As Westminster, but big games coming up for Grove City.
And you look at that matchup, and that has been the last probably 6 or 8 years, that's always been a close game. I can tell you some of these gray hairs are from those games that we've played with Westminster over the last couple of years, and very close rivals, and those have been very close games the last several years.
Well, I thought the gray hair would have been from the B issue over there at Westminster at one point that we had, but yeah, indeed. And the thing for us, at least from the Eastern Ohio, Western Pennsylvania side of it, a lot of local talent there. So you get to see these young men evolve and how good of players they do become. And we see a couple here. One out of Warren Harding here, of course. You have names like Paul Warfield that have come out of Warren Harding, among others, Maurice Claret, and the list goes on for them.
Senior Day for Grove City will be the first Saturday in the month of November. as St. Vincent Bearcats come to Grove City for the final home game for the graduating class on the football team this year for a 1 o'clock kickoff on November 1st. And then 2 road games to finish out the 2025 season at Case Western, heading up to Cleveland. And then meeting an old PAC foe for the first time since 2003, and a place you've actually called games that I have not, when they head to Hiram to take on the Terriers.
Yeah, nice place up there, and I'll tell you, some great folks up at Hiram in there, and I don't know if it elevates to the level of Grove City, but certainly they are in the right place here, and I think Hiram, if they follow the same path as Grove City is, they're going to get better, and again, their program will evolve and certainly make the PAC stronger.
And a little bit of an issue with the stats, so we will get those to you when we can, but when you look at it, it has been, Grove City, they came out, they tried to establish the running game early like you typically see under Coach DiDonato. Then they start kind of taking some shots downfield. They've taken a few of those here in the first half, haven't been able to connect on those, but that's the MO we've seen from Grove City over the years.
Yeah, and those things they haven't connected on, you feel like they're going to at some point. That is going to happen, but certainly with the run game, and every coach will say this, but you want to stick with that run game. Don't abandon that. But for Waynesburg, they've made them one-dimensional. They've taken away that run game. They're going to go through the air now, so hopefully we're going to see those corners maybe move up a little bit and maybe a little bit more one-on-one with the receivers and try to shut down those slants.
That's actually, that's what Coach DiDonato talked about with Ryan Briggs in the pregame show. You take one thing away, force a team to do something else, but now that Waynesburg has kind of opened up the playbook offensively, you expect some halftime adjustments from the defensive staff led by Coach Vogt.
Yeah, and that's where the coaching comes in here. But for Waynesburg, they started clicking in that passing game. That's a little bit concerning here. So hopefully the adjustments will be made in the secondary because certainly the run game has not been an issue. Grove City has been strong with that. Just with that 3-man front, they've been able to put pressure on them.
And, of course, we saw the injury to Tyler Richmond, the leading receiver for Waynesburg, where he got a little banged up and then came off the field. So we'll have to see how that affects their passing game.
Yeah, and he was kind of opening that up there. And I would like to think it's not going to be much. I thought maybe he knocked the wind out of himself. He really laid out for that ball there, went right down on his chest, and then walked off the field here. So unless you're talking about a rib injury or maybe some kind of bruising, I'd like to believe that you're going to see him in the second half.
We talked a lot about that front three with Jordan Karcheski, Kellen Taylor, and Dave Cower up front. And with that 3-man front, they do such a good job in occupying the offensive line and then allowing the Grove City linebackers, Jolly, Brubaker, Klaus, Bladel to kind of just roam around and make plays.
Yeah, and especially for Bladel, that sets him up to find these small cracks that that a mouse would have trouble getting through. But he gets in there, and if you don't account for him, he racks up the tackles for loss. So again, it's a great linebacking court for Grove City. They play sideline to sideline, and certainly with that front three taking the gaps, that's going to be a benefit them, especially here in the second half.
Halftime, Grove City 10, Waynesburg 7. We're back after this on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner.
Did you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Halftime continues here on the Wolverine Sports Network with a 10-7 lead for Grove City over Waynesburg here at the half. And we want to remind you, for every Grove City touchdown and cost turnover this season, Northwestern Mutual Gold Financial is proud to partner with Grove City College football to support the Grove City Area United Way. Gold Financial, 160 South Broad Street in Grove City. And we thank them for being along with us for the Grove City College football season here in 2025. And also good to see our old friend and the Grove City alumni, Joe Klimchak, who does a lot of great work with the Pittsburgh Pirates and one of the former voices of the Wolverines. Good to catch up with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Just got to beat him. So, another benefit of coming out here to Grove City. Great alumni and some names that have popped up here I've seen in terms of the football program and that. But again, so much excitement. I think first game we did here together was 2017. Has it been that long?
It has.
It has.
It's been 15 years for me.
Wow, that's a long time. And you've seen the ups and downs, but right now you're seeing, I think, a lot of the up, and even with the couple of losses here. Again, I think those are growing. I don't want to say growing pains, but I think those are symptoms of growth for Grove City as they get more on this national level, and I know that's our focus.
And, always good, and don't always have a lot of time. As you said, people want to talk when you make your way from the parking lot to the press box, but got to see C.J. Otwell, the long snapper from Laurel, Delaware, who is amongst the leaders of 3 in all-time games played in Grove City College. CJ is continuing his academic career, currently studying at the University of Marshall. We saw Nico Flotti down on the sidelines, among many other players and band members that are down on the field.
Please join me in welcoming the returning Let's take a moment to recognize this year's homecoming court. Abby Pink, escorted by Drew Gillespie. Tanner Phillips, escorted by Nathan Heath. Julia Shapiro, escorted by Brody Riley. Ava Fogg, escorted by David Thomas. And Amy DeMay, escorted by John Barrett.
Introductions of these 2025 homecoming court, and momentarily we will have the announcements of the king and queen as all of the court down below us on the track here at Robert E. Thorne Field. There you have it. The announcing of the homecoming court for Grove City is a little bit of a traffic jam on the field, getting the band off the field and the football team, Jim, back onto the field as we're getting set to get ready for the third quarter. And when we get ready for the third quarter, it's all about adjustments. We start from the Grove City perspective. What are you looking for out of Grove City here in the second half?
Defensively, I'd like to see their corner step up a little bit more. Take that gap away instead of giving up those 7 and 8 yard catches. Press them a little bit and really kind of force them to go after that ball. Offensively for Grove City, stay with the run game. Don't abandon that. It has been your bread and butter. It's going to eat the clock up here. This is going to be a close game, minus something that falls apart for Waynesburg in the second half. This should be a close game, but for Grove City, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't abandon that, but they have the ability to throw, and I would stick to those situations where you need to and not where you're just trying to hit for a big play.
You know, Waynesburg able to corral the momentum going into the locker room with that late 2-yard touchdown run. And now they will get the football to begin the third quarter with some momentum on their side.
Yeah, and certainly that's one of the reasons you like to have the ball in that third quarter. You want to set the tempo. You want to get the momentum there. And when you're here at Grove City, you want to break the back of the Wolverines a little bit, though. But very few have been able to do that in recent years. And so it's a tough task. But again, for Waynesburg, this first possession of the third quarter, probably the most important one here for them, again, to set that tempo.
Right, and when you look at it, we've seen Waynesburg, they haven't completely abandoned the run, but it's become close what they did at the latter stages of the second quarter.
Yeah, and you would like to, again, go back to that. You're going to eat up the clock here. You're going to get your plays. You're going to break this open, but getting into that third and short, third and manageable, I would feel comfortable as a coach with that. I don't think we have to worry about too much of the not being able to convert on that, but again, sticking with that. I love the offense here. I love the fact that they go that heavy package, three running backs at a time at points, 2 of them being the fullbacks lining up right behind the guards. It's just smash mouth football in there, and right now I think Grove City's winning that battle.
First final of the day in the President's Athletic Conference is a win for the Golden Tornadoes. The GTs down Teal today, 51-38, bouncing back from the loss to Grove City 22-9 last week. Other games underway. They've gone to halftime now. W&J leading Westminster 17-0 in that game. And a couple of kickoffs still yet to come tonight, as we mentioned. Got Allegheny at Case Western Reserve at 4:30 and St. Vincent at Bethany coming up at 7 o'clock. So from a Waynesburg perspective, how big is this first possession?
I think it's huge. I think it's going to set the tempo for the entire third quarter, seeing if your adjustments are going to work. That is huge for the coaching staff. Hey, are we making the right decisions here? And are the players going to buy in on? And we'll see in probably the first 3 or 4 plays. And a lot of times in the third quarter, these plays are scripted coming out of the half like they are in the first quarter. So that'll tell you a lot here. And at that point, if something doesn't work, then you got to start changing directions. And at that point, maybe you start to see a little bit of frustration for Waynesburg.
So we are set to begin this third quarter as the sun trying to fight its way through the clouds. As it will be Lane ready to kick this football away. Brady Lane gets his foot into this one high and deep, and this will be another touchback. What a weapon, Jim, to be able to have a kicker like that.
Takes away that scoring opportunity, absolutely. So you don't think much of kickers until you need them, and that will keep them deep in their own territory here. You don't want to let them set up in between the 40 and 50-yard line and give them that momentum.
So 1st and 10 for Waynesburg. It has been sophomore quarterback Luke Hudson, who is primarily taken most of the snaps. Hudson going to run the football, give it to his tailback, running up the middle for a big gain down to the 35-yard line. As that'll be Carson Shriver on the run for a first down.
Yeah, they're in that pistol formation with a fullback there, just right off that right side. Earlier in the game, they were attacking that right side, kind of got away with it, or kind of got away from it, excuse me. But was able to pick up an easy 10 on that.
Luke Hudson, 11 of 15, 147 yards, 2 interceptions at the quarterback spot. Takes the snap, gives it to Carson Shriver once again, but this time runs into the arms of Mason Klaus and friends on the stop.
On the run, brought down by Klaus and Keegan Frazier. Gain of 1 to the 35.
And Frazier on the attack here, coming up from a safety position. They tried to stay, Waynesburg tried to stay square to get upfield there, but the Grove City just getting there 4 or 5 players at a time, getting to the point of attack.
Enough to pick up the first down out to the 35-yard line. Yellow Jackets going to put 1 receiver to the right and 1 to the left. Split backs with Luke Hudson, the quarterback. Going to run it again, this time try to cut between the hashes. And that is going to be a short gain, just about 2 yards, setting up a 2nd and 8.
That'll get him just past the original line of scrimmage. Shriver, 13 carries for 20 yards, only averaging 1.5 yards a play. You put those together, those 3 plays are not going to get you a first down every time.
So 2nd down and 8. Full sunshine now covering Robert E. Thorne Field as we begin this 3rd quarter with Waynesburg right to left. Running back a couple of yards deep. Going to put a tight end in motion from right to left, setting up as a wing. Play action for Hudson. Receiver made the catch, broke free from the initial tackle, and then pulled down from behind by Caleb Brubaker. And that is Tyler Richmond back in the ball game for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, and I didn't see who the defender was there. Came up there, was right at that point of attack. Got to where he needed to be, but had his head down. Didn't see where the ball runner was going. Very fundamental. You got to keep your head up. If you don't keep your head up, you can't see where the runner is.
So it will be a 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from the Grove City 48-yard line. Going to put 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left side, 2 backs in the backfield with Luke Hudson. Turns, gives the ball to his running back, Shriver, running towards the right side, turns the corner, first down across the 35-30, and he's going to go down and out of bounds at about the 32-yard line, and Carson Shriver starting to put up some numbers here in the second half on that run.
Yeah, 13 carries for 20 yards in the first half, though. He's finding some room off that right side. Everything was bottlenecked there at the line of scrimmage. Just bounced it to the outside there, found some real estate. And you go back to that play here, and then with that missed tackle, that should have been a loss of a couple yards, but instead it's going to be a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 from the Grove City 27-yard line. Going to run with Shriver, get off the short side. He'll spin his way across the 25, down to the 24.
Shriver on the run, flag on the play.
Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
That's Isaiah Durham, the junior right tackle out of Philadelphia, getting called for the hold.
Yeah, and for Waynesburg, that'll slow him down a little bit. That'll give Grove City a moment to kind of regroup after a couple of big plays by Waynesburg.
Shriver up to 41 yards on the ground in this game for the Yellow Jackets. Holding penalty, backs him up, brings up a 1st and 20 now. 2 receivers to each side of the formation for Luke Hudson. Gonna take the snap. Shriver avoiding Hudson avoiding Bladel, but then runs into the arms of a Grove City defender who makes the stop. And now we've got a flag at the end of this play.
Yeah, Bladel was the one initially.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, 27, Grove City. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So they called Caleb Brubaker for a little too much celebration after that tackle for loss.
Caleb grabbed something. I think it was the towel from a player. I don't know where it came from, and then threw it up in the air. And much like an official would throw a flag up. So, yeah, a little bit too much celebration and then using a prop.
So 1st and 10. Well, that sounded like an official. Like you've been there before.
Once or twice, I tell you, it's not as easy as it looks.
1st and 10 from the Grove City 26-yard line for the Yellow Jackets. Hudson puts a slot receiver in motion as he drops to throw. Time in the pocket, swings it out to that receiver who went in motion, who made the catch, and is escorted out of bounds by Noah Wheeler towards that Waynesburg sidelines, bringing up 2nd down.
Great job by the Wolverines secondary, taking everything away here, taking all the options. Had to check down to the receiver to the far side. He was right on the line of scrimmage, and he was able to pick up 1 yard on the play. So we'll take that 2nd and 9 instead of giving him shots down the field.
Approaching 10 minutes to play here into this 3rd quarter. 10-7, Grove City leading Waynesburg. Yellow Jackets 2nd and 9 from the Grove City 25. Tight end going to go in motion, settle left side. Hudson calls for the football. Play action, sets up one-on-one with Wheeler. The receiver looked like he might have stepped out of bounds. There was no hat on the field, but either way, that pass is incomplete.
Yeah, certainly he would. I think he did go out of bounds here, so he'd have been ineligible to begin with. But also, I would have also almost argued that there was some offensive pass interference. Gave the defender a little push from behind, but it pushed him in the direction of the route. So I think the official just decided to let that go.
Nick Clemens, the freshman linebacker, checks in for this 3rd down and 9. Yellow Jackets, 15 seconds on the play clock. 2 receivers to each side of the formation, running back to the right of Luke Hudson. Hudson calls for the football. They will run it on 3rd down and 9. Getting across the 20 and dive in near the 15-yard line. They'll spot him out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And that will move the chains for the Yellow Jackets.
The Yellow Jackets attacking the outsides.
1st and 10 at the 16.
And Grove City unusually giving up some yards to that as well. So the linebackers look like they're having a little bit of tougher time flowing laterally to get to the outside to help out.
So 1st and 10 for Waynesburg from the Grove City 16-yard line. This will be the 10th play of the drive for the Yellow Jackets. Split backs for Hudson as he drops to throw. Ball batted down and incomplete. To bring up a 2nd down and 10.
It was probably the best thing that could happen. You look downfield, there was nothing open. I don't know where he was going to throw that, but everywhere that he looked, there may have been an option. There was also a red jersey, so Waynesburg may have lucked out on that, having that pass batted down.
So Karcheski gets a hand on that football, coming off a big game for him last week against Geneva. 2nd and 10, 8:55 to play, 3rd quarter. 10-7, Grove City with the 3-point lead. Waynesburg, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Hudson turns, gives the ball to his tailback, runs into the pile at the 15-yard line. And coming up there to make the tackle, Jack Jolly, the senior.
Yeah, that was one of those high-low tackles. Somebody had him at the ankles. Jolly coming in and cleaning him, finishing him off there. He took a little bit of a shot, and Jolly starting to feel it.
So 3rd and 9 for the Yellow Jackets from the 15-yard line. Pinkerton, their kicker, if you're thinking about that, just 1 of 3 with a long of 20 on the season. Did have 1 kick blocked. 3rd down and 9. Hudson to throw. Time, looking, end zone, jump ball knocked away and incomplete. It's good coverage downfield by the Wolverines. Bowden Davidson there one-on-one.
Beautiful positioning. Went up for the ball, tacked it at its highest point. Didn't make any contact with the receiver. He was actually behind him, so to the officials, that's a really good look here, and that'll relegate Waynesburg to a field goal attempt.
From the 22, make it a 32-yard attempt for Pinkerton, who's 1 for 3 and did have one blocked. Burke will hold. Snap and hold are good, and this one is blocked as well. Noah Wheeler picks it up. Noah Wheeler down the sidelines. 50, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Wolverines. Wheeler picked up the blocked field goal and took it down the sidelines for the Grove City touchdown.
The second defensive touchdown of the day for Grove City. Both touchdowns for Grove City coming by way of defense. And again, that kicking game has been a little suspect. We've seen the protections not hold up. They've been fortunate on these punts, and of course the first field goal attempt getting blocked here. But as you had mentioned, 1 for 3 with one blocked. That's going to be a second one. That one, though, is going to cost them 6.
So this will bring Lane on to attempt the extra point for the Wolverines. 10 of 11 on the season. Derek Lambert will snap it. Sutton Ellis is the holder. A big momentum shift here this afternoon, courtesy of the Grove City special teams.
Number 8, Waynesburg threw his helmet onto the field. That penalty will be enforced on kickoff. That's number 8's first unsportsmanlike that counts towards ejection.
Okay, so the official pointed towards the Grove City side, but called it on Waynesburg. So
Brady Lane to attempt the conversion.
Is that Jack Jolly he was calling that on?
We will see.
And we'll have to wait till the kick to see where they're going to place the ball.
Ellis to hold. Lambert will snap it. Lane on for the extra point. Snap and hold are good, and Lane's extra point is up, and it is also good.
And, of course, that because of that touchdown, Grove City touchdown and caused turnover this season, Northwestern Mutual Gold Financial is proud to partner with the Grove City College football to support the Grove City Area United Way. Gold Financial, located at 160 South Broad Street in Grove City.
Well, the defense has scored. The special teams have scored in this one so far this afternoon for the Wolverines.
Well, and you have the question, what's going to happen when you have two teams that run the ball so well that they're trying to eat up that clock? Well, you just give it to the defense, and what they'll do is they'll just produce a couple of touchdowns for you just the way it's drawn up.
So they will credit Jack Jolly with the blocked field goal and the touchdown return by Noah Wheeler in a 17-7 lead for Grove City. Jim, just when it looked like Waynesburg was going to either tie or potentially take the lead, a big special teams play.
Yeah, and certainly for Grove City, that is huge. And we talked about the first drive, actually, of the third quarter here as we hit just under the 8-minute mark. But I have a question here about the penalty here. Was that penalty actually on Waynesburg, or was it on Grove City?
It looks like it. They're going to mark this football.
All right, so they're going to say that was against Waynesburg.
So they're going to put the ball at midfield, and Brady Lane might kick this football to the road that enters Robert E. Thorne Field from midfield.
They may want to go out and stop traffic for this one.
A lot of people up on the hill outside of the stadium as well, watching this one and what's turned out to be a pretty nice afternoon here at Robert E. Thorne Field.
One of them may be the recipient of a souvenir here in a moment.
Returners will stand inside their 5-yard line. And this one is going to go to the backyard line of the end zone. And another touchback this afternoon for Brady Lane.
Yeah, such a big play by Grove City, the Grove City defense here. And you wonder how you're going to relegate this running offense and how you're going to put some points on the board. And this is a nice job. When you see the special teams and defense stepping up there and giving you that room to work here. Now, again, the playbook can open up a little bit more now. You have a 10-point lead again. And then at some point, Grove City go right back to just eating that clock up on the ground.
And the only difficulty out of all of this is your defense has spent a lot of time on the field in this third quarter.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, though, when it's because you're scoring touchdowns. That mentally, that positive momentum, yeah, I think you can run a few extra plays.
They run it on first down, trying to get to the short side of the field, and this time the Grove City defense there to make the stop. So this will bring up 2nd and 11.
We'll see how long it takes before the frustration sets in for Waynesburg. They have it, and it was a really good drive going for them. Although it resulted in a field goal attempt, that would have cut it down, or actually would have tied the game. But now you find yourself down by 10.
Shriver dropped for a loss in the backfield. 16 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown on the afternoon for Shriver. 2nd down and 11. Hudson 1 right, 2 to the left side. Shriver's the tailback. He will get the carry on a little bit of a delay, and this time the middle of that Grove City defense, Karcheski, Taylor, Cower bottling up the run.
Yeah, again, they try that right side of the Grove City defense, but after having a little bit of success, Grove City's locking that side down or accounting for that, and Waynesburg going to have to go right back to the passer. 3rd and 11. They're definitely going to take a shot downfield to keep this drive going.
6:35 to play here in this third quarter. 17-7, Grove City with the lead. Waynesburg facing a 3rd down and 11. Going to put 2 backs in the backfield with Luke Hudson, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left side. Play clock running down. They just do get it off. Going to fire the deep out, and that pass is going to be caught. And the tackle made by Bowden Davidson, senior out of Scottsdale, Arizona. This will bring up 4th down and a 2. And it looks like Waynesburg will punt the football away.
Yeah, Bowden Davidson is not 5'10", and he's 6 foot. He may have that interception there, reached in there, and it was just a good, strong catch by the Waynesburg receiver. But great coverage by Davidson, just enough to keep him from getting the line to gain.
So Bowden Davidson will now drop back to return this punt from Landon Bradley, the sophomore punter. Little wobbly snap back to him, and he just gets this kick away. Bowden Davidson, fair catch made at the Grove City 34-yard line. Well, Jim, you get the touchdown on special teams, you get the stop on defense, and 5:22 to play in the third, and your offense on the field for the first time in the second half.
Yeah, normally you don't want your defense on the field that long, but this is a great problem to have now, as Grove City will get a shot at maybe putting some more points up here, start to kind of put this one away here. And you don't want to say that too much here with just over 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter, but it could happen.
Ian DeMary, starting running back here in this third quarter for the Wolverines. DeMary gets the handoff on first down, bounces off the pile, lowers the shoulder across the 40 and dives down to the 46-yard line. And a Grove City first down, 11 yards on the ground for Ian DeMary.
DeMary reminds me of the old Tecmo Bowl where they ran into the line and the legs just keep going. And eventually he'll stay lateral and find that hole, and he'll get upfield. And he's as strong as a Mack truck there. He's dragging a few defenders with him.
So Ian DeMary, 4 carries, 23 yards. Chase Rankin, leading rusher for the Wolverines, 10 attempts for 51 yards.
I wonder how many people were listening that didn't know what Tecmo Bowl was.
I was thinking you were showing your age there a little bit. Ellis takes the snap, gives the ball to Rankin. Rankin across the 50, still driving tacklers across the 45 and across the 40 and down to the 39-yard line. Grove City, energy from the block punt for touchdown now on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Brunette leading the block on that one, and he's looking back at his work. Opening that up, it almost became a rugby scrum where they were just moving down the field.
15 yards, first down Grove City.
So Rankin picks up 15, down to the 39-yard line. Rankin now 11 carries, 66 yards. Barzak in motion, settling on the left side. He gives the ball to Rankin, flag on the play. The play followed through, but it looked like they were trying to stop it.
And I think Grove City's going to be lined up offside. He gave an indication of an offside call, but then pointed to Grove City and then switched.
Offside, defensive left hand. 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
So that penalty on Waynesburg, which we talked about it in the first half, hasn't been a lot of penalties in this one. This is the sixth called on Waynesburg here in the game.
Yeah, well, this is going to start haunting Waynesburg when you're getting the pre-snap penalties, though. It shows a little bit of fatigue, maybe a little bit of frustration. You're trying to get that extra step.
Yeah, they got Virgil Dorian, the junior, on that penalty. Grove City going to just run this football on first and short.
And you watch Rankin, Demir, and they come through the line, and you love the fundamentals here. 2 arms on that ball, locking down on it.
On the run, brought down by Ross.
Wolverines will bring in the extra offensive lineman in Quinn, the extra fullback in Dustin Hoddle, and Ian Demiri checks into the backfield on the 2nd down and 4. Ellis turns to the sidelines. Cards go up. 10 seconds to go on the play clock. They turn back to the line of scrimmage. Wolverines going into the sun here in this 3rd quarter. High snap, give the ball to Demiri. Demiri across the 30, 25, and dives down near the 20-yard line, but a flag back at the 30-yard line.
Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
They get the sophomore Gabe Hilty on the holding penalty. 5th foul on the Wolverines in this one.
Yeah, great run there, getting upfield. Again, just power running. Nothing fancy, but the flag going to push them back. All right, they'll correct that.
That's what I've always loved and respected about the officials at this level. They tell you what's happening and why.
Yeah, tell us the story so we understand. It's half the entertainment, really, of football.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right side. So it's Peacock and Penna to the left, Sullivan to the right side. Burnett, the fullback. Rankin, the tailback. Rankin right up the middle, lowers the shoulder, square to the line of scrimmage, and hammers down to the 35-yard line. Chase Rankin, 5'10", 195. Burnett lost the helmet
Down by Stewart.
for 1 play, so Hada will check in.
5-yard gain.
Paulinx was just coming across there, got the angle, brought down Rankin. Went down kind of awkwardly, but he'll bounce right back up.
2nd and 7. Under 2 minutes to play here in this 3rd quarter. Otto goes in motion, settles right side. Play action, Ellis hit, the ball pops loose. Waynesburg picks up the football, broke through a tackle, and they're going to run this back for a fumble recovery for a touchdown for the Yellow Jackets. That's Jonas Polanese who came up with the football, the junior from Winter Garden, Florida. And now the Yellow Jackets find themselves with a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, it's certainly 2nd fumble of the day. In the same situation, this one returned for a touchdown. And again, I think this was the pass patterns that you thought there was going to be an option very quickly. Really planted his feet, thought he was going to throw, but when the coverage was too strong, didn't have an opportunity to check down and took the shot from behind. And that's the only reason I can really think they're not accounting for somebody on the backside like that is they expected that ball to be gone.
So Pinkerton on for the extra point, 14 of 15 on the season. Snap a little off, but they do get this one up, and it knuckles its way through the uprights and good. And with 1:34 to play, it's either a 4 or a 9 with the sun. We'll go with 1:34 to play here in the 3rd quarter. And Waynesburg has a defensive touchdown, and the lead back down to 3.
Yeah, and a lot of defensive touchdowns seen today. I don't know how many times, if I've ever seen this many scored in one game before. But the stalemate on offense for each team is now forcing these defenses to step up. But again, some concern when you're not watching your quarterback's backside like that. And I'm sure there's going to be some discussion about that. Maybe bringing in an extra running back, maybe shifting that tight end or that fullback back to his right or left hip to keep an eye on him. You can't have him taking shots like that.
This is homecoming weekend at the college, and we're also looking already forward to homecoming 2026. Homecoming 2026 will be the 100th anniversary of homecoming and the 150th anniversary of Grove City College. Save the date for October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2026. We'll have our first night home game on homecoming.
That'll be a nice culmination of a celebration. Hopefully 2026 you get weather just like this. Maybe a little bit warmer, though.
As long as it's dry, we'll take it.
Yes, in this area, that we will pray for the small things.
So it looks like Cameron Epps back deep to return.
Pinkerton to kick.
Also back with him, looks like Sam Penna, number 8. Pinkerton gets his foot into this one. Epps from the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and out to about the 31-yard line is the freshman Cameron Epps out of South Allegheny High School.
Now an opportunity for Grove City to get set again, get back to what they want to do. And Goldfish there, you got to have a short memory. But again, a little concerned. That's happened twice today. Morellis has been hit from behind like that, and the ball's come loose. They're going to have to make an adjustment on that backside.
Grove City trying to get that passing game going. Ellis just 4 of 11 for 38 yards. Grove City going to put 1 receiver to the left, 2 right side. Play clock down to 5 seconds. Ellis takes the snap. He'll drop to throw. Going to take a shot downfield. One-on-one for Breck Peacock, and that ball knocked away at the last second and incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, just good coverage there. 9 route right down the sideline. And I think the pass was just a little bit short, too. As Peacock had to slow down a little bit and try to go up for the ball. And he let him just maybe a couple more yards. That might have been something he caught in stride.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Wolverines. Peacock, Penna, and Sullivan, your 3 receivers left to right. Anthony Burnett, the senior, at the fullback spot. Going to pitch it to Rankin. Rankin still driving the feet, pushing the pile, looking for the first down and more. All the way down to the 42-yard line. Chase Rankin driving the feet for another big gain for Grove City.
Yeah, we've seen that multiple times today where he's just been in the pile and taken a series of players with him downfield. The option, though, I didn't think come off as well as they wanted to. The running back and the quarterback were kind of close together there, but it worked out for him, actually, as he cut back to the inside and found the lane.
So 1st and 10, Grove City from their 42-yard line. Ellis takes the snap, fakes to Demiri, goes downfield. Peacock makes the catch across midfield. And depending on the spot, he might be about a yard shy of this first down, gain of 9.
That was great play action there. Actually got the corner out there to kind of peek in the backfield. And he thought it was going to be a run play as well. That opened up that pattern for Grove City.
We're down to the final 20 seconds to play here in this afternoon's 3rd quarter on homecoming. Trees starting to turn as fall has arrived on the campus of Grove City College. Fake to Demiri. Downfield, Sullivan made a great catch. Went down and dug it out across the 40. And down to the 37-yard line in the final play of the 3rd quarter. It's going to be a Grove City first down as Sullivan comes out of there with his first reception of the afternoon. And we have come to the end of the 3rd quarter. After 3, our score here on homecoming, it is Grove City 17 and Waynesburg 14. We're back after a quick break on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Service for cars, trucks, and SUVs. Wiper blades or filters, check your tire pressure. Locally owned, nationally known.
Ken Frenchak here from the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Fall Leaves are changing. Why not get a jump start on the season and get the oil changed in your vehicle? We have your grade of Valvoline oil regardless of your gas or diesel engine. We stock most air filters and windshield wiper blades. So don't forget, we offer 2 automatic car washes along with 2 self-serve bays. Stop by to have your car run and look great. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come to us for the experience.
Valvoline Express Karen Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy.
Off the quarter timeout. Final 15 minutes in this one put up on the scoreboard at Robert E. Thorne Field. Grove City on the road at Allegheny for a 4 o'clock kickoff next Saturday. Grove City right to left to begin this fourth quarter. They have a first down and 10 from the Waynesburg 37-yard line. Ellis works out of the pistol. Demiri is the tailback. Demiri got to get the football. Big head of steam across the 30. And down near the 26-yard line. Grove City running backs running with determination here in this second half.
Yeah, that offensive line firing right off the ball, creating a lane for them. It was almost like a tunnel the way they blocked it.
First and 10 at the Waynesburg 26.
Burnett and Hoddle, both fullbacks in there as they do the offensive line shift for the first time this afternoon. Demiri remains the tailback on first and 10. Demiri gets the ball again, has a nice gap, falls forward across the 20 and down to the 19-yard line. And Grove City's got an offensive lineman down on the field.
Yeah, seeing the offensive line flip, a lot of times I've seen, and I don't know exactly what they're doing, but they'll have a strong side and a quick side of the offensive line there, which will set up the play depending on what it is, as they attend to an injury down here on the field.
It will add 3 seconds to the clock. It looked like that was center Bobby Benton, the junior, who was being tended to by the Grove City training staff. So Zeke Swift, the sophomore out of Canavan High School in Washington, PA, warming up. We'll take a break, and we will come back with more after this on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Bobby Benton now to an upright position and standing on the field, the junior center out of Baldwin High School. Being helped to the sidelines by a group of his offensive line teammates, assistant head coach and offensive line coach Derek Bainey down there on the field as well with Coach DiDonato.
If Coach Bainey's there, he's going to encourage him, and I'll tell you right now, every time Coach Bainey talks, I feel like getting back on the field. So,
yeah, he coaches this team with a lot of passion, as do this his entire coaching staff. So returning to action, it'll be second down and 3. We see Zeke Swift, the sophomore, 6'2", 300 out of Canavan High School. Single receiver is going to be Breck Peacock. He's on the numbers to the left side. Burnett and Hoddle, the fullbacks. Demiri, the tailback. Demiri's going to get the football again. Demiri going to bounce it to the outside across the 15 and down to the 14-yard line. Another Grove City first down.
And again, Demiri, well, we got a Waynesburg player down as well. But as far as Demiri going off that left side, hits the back of the wall, and again, just continues forward until he finds a space to get upfield. But I'm looking at her to the outside here, and they're looking at Marcus Crum here defensively, trying to get that one-on-one situation. And I think you're going to see a shot here sooner or later coming to that left side.
Now you look at that matchup, and there's a Well, the size is just about equal, but the younger player in Marcus Crum, just a freshman.
Look to take care of that, or take advantage of that inexperience. Although coming out of Warren Harding High School, you've seen some pretty high competition. That's a program that doesn't shy away from a tough schedule.
And we may have seen them a time or two over the last few years.
We've seen them against some big-time programs. As for many years, Coach Steve Arnold over there, you specifically got to speak with him quite often.
Matt Richardson, now the head coach there. We will step aside with a player down for Waynesburg and be back after this on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Ken Frenchak here from the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. It's that time of year again. Buy one, get one free windshield wiper sale. You heard correct. BOGO windshield wiper sale with any of our Valvoline full-service oil change through the end of the year. So get ready for Old Man Winter today before he arrives. BOGO windshield wiper sale through December 31st. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come to us for the experience.
Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy.
So the player up for Waynesburg looks like Virgil Dorian, the junior defensive lineman, able to make his way to the far sidelines for the Yellow Jackets. All right, good crowd has come out. A good crowd overall for this one and what's turned out to be a beautiful Saturday afternoon on the campus of Grove City College. They will shuffle the offensive line. Ellis going to work out of the pistol formation with Demiri, the tailback. Demiri going to get the football again, running off that left side, and Demiri is going to be down to the 5-yard line. It's 1st and goal, Grove City.
Unfortunately, a flag on the play. It's going to come back on a hold, but I don't know where the hold came from. Didn't see anything unless it came from the backside of the play, which would have been irrelevant, but
10-yard penalty to the 24.
I thought our advantage to see that was pretty good.
So they'll mark the penalty off 10 yards, make it 1st and 20 for the Wolverines at the Waynesburg 24-yard line. Sullivan, the receiver, to the right side. Both fullbacks and the extra offensive lineman in. Demiri shifts to the right of Sutton Ellis. Ellis looking to throw. One-on-one for Sullivan. Back shoulder throw! Out of bounds, incomplete. Couldn't get the foot down inside that front pylon on the right side of the end zone. It's 2nd and 20.
Now that's that single receiver has been to the outside. You knew sooner or later they're going to take a shot downfield. Had a good look at this time, but just ran out of real estate on that one. But a great catch.
So the incompletion makes 2nd and 20. 12:53 to play in today's 4th quarter. Ellis going to work the hard count. Now checks with the sidelines. Play clock at 10 seconds. Sullivan to the right. Peacock to the left side. Demiri's your tailback. Ellis to throw it again. One-on-one. Sullivan beats his man, and Ellis drops it right into his hands for the Grove City touchdown.
And there was nothing fancy about that. Great protection. Receiver went straight downfield. Just beat the defender. Kind of gave up on it. I think the defender didn't realize that he had lost track of the receiver. And Sullivan doing a great job there. They were close on the last play. This time they perfected. And finally, an offensive touchdown here today.
Daniel Sullivan, his 3rd receiving touchdown of the season for the junior. Ellis, his 6th pass.
Lane for the conversion.
Lane on for the extra point. Snap and hold are good. Lambert and Ellis. And Brady Lane's extra point is up and it is good. And with 12:45 to play in this football game, Grove City's pushed the lead, Jim, back to 10 at 24-14.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Grove City get an offensive touchdown here, get that rhythm into the offense. Again, by way through the air, they're taking a shot down the field, and you suspected that. There was so much activity going on between the tackles that eventually you're going to lull that corner to sleep out there, and you're going to take a couple shots downfield. First one was close enough. Second one right on the money.
Not often you see a team score in every phase of the game on a Saturday afternoon.
No, and I mean, you got to be happy if you're this coaching staff. You're clicking on all cylinders. You'd like to see a few less penalties here. They're in that passing situation because of a holding penalty on a really good run. But I guess you'll just have to settle for that really nice pass and catch for the touchdown.
That was a beautiful ball. You said it. Sullivan beat his man off the line of scrimmage, and Ellis dropped it right into his hands for his 6th touchdown pass of the season. Lane will now come on and kick the football away. Two receivers back deep to return at the 5. This kick is going to drift into the end zone. He'll take a knee for the touchback.
Yep. And speaking of touchdowns, guess what? For every Grove City College touchdown and caused turnover this season, Northwestern Mutual Gold Financial is proud to partner with Grove City College to support the Grove City area. United Way Gold Financial, located at 160 South Broad Street here in Grove City.
So now this Waynesburg offense facing some pressure, down by 2 scores. Hudson, 14 of 23 for 172 and 2 interceptions in that first half by Dominic Danino. Hudson has 2 backs with him in the backfield, 3 receivers in the formation. He'll reverse turn, hand the football off to his running back, who cut to the outside, got to the sidelines, and will have a first down for the Yellow Jackets.
Blade will come off that right side there. Thought he was going to have a tackle for loss, but had to work around the QB to get to him, but just missed it there on the ankle tackle for Waynesburg. Now they have a first down here at the 38.
12 minutes, 15 seconds to play, 4th quarter. A 1st and 10 for Waynesburg. From their 38-yard line. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right side. Again, reversed hand off the football. Shriver this time on the carry, and there's no running room for him as Carson Shriver, the junior, is pushed back at the line.
Yeah, had a blocker in front of him, but he unfortunately went right past the line there. I don't think he saw anybody there. Was trying to get to the second level. And the defensive line in Grove City there didn't get too deep, just about ankle depth. And was able to wrap him up in the backfield.
Shriver, 18 carries, 50 yards, just 2.8 per carry this afternoon. 2 receivers to each side. A running back is to the left of Luke Hudson, the sophomore quarterback. Hudson, deep drop. Time, going to take the shot downfield. Receiver came open in the zone at the 45 and made the catch down near the 42-yard line. That's Isaac Trout, the senior, out of Southmoreland High School with the reception.
Yeah, and Trout just started to drift to the inside, eventually kind of took a rounded off cut, but Davidson just kept drifting backwards, creating some space for him to work.
So Waynesburg with the football down to the Grove City 43-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers right side of the formation. It will turn, hand the football off. And getting driven back just shy of the 41-yard line. Waynesburg gains just 1.
Gain of 1 to the 42.
It seemed like they were going to pick up a little bit more on that, but I think there was some hesitation by the runner there as he approached the line of scrimmage. Didn't see there was a hole right there. And by the time he realized it, Grove City had closed that window on him.
So 2nd down and 9. 2 receivers go to the left, 1 to the right side. Single back in the backfield behind Luke Hudson. Play clock down under 5 seconds. Fakes the handoff. Weaver looking downfield. That pass is going to be caught. Receiver broke free. Broke 1 tackle, and Noah Wheeler pulls him down from behind at the 10-yard line.
I think it was an anticipation that he had gone outside, that he'd gone out of bounds. But somehow or another was able to tiptoe it, stay right in there, and head right upfield. And then had to cut back to the inside. That will set him up nicely here. just outside the 10-yard line, right around the 12.
Elijah Jackson, the sophomore from Morgantown, West Virginia, on the reception. He will spot the football at the 12-yard line. Offset backs in the backfield with Hudson. Gives it only reverse handoff, running to the right side and pulled down from behind inside the 10-yard line. Looks like Jordan Karcheski coming off the bottom of the pile, along with help from Keegan Frazier at the safety spot.
Player down from Waynesburg, but Frazier coming up to help on the tackle. You like to see your safeties attacking like that, but another offensive lineman down for the Yellow Jackets.
That's the center, Corey Ansel, the senior out of Mount Pleasant. Started to get up and then made his way down onto the field. Gives us a chance to step aside for a break and come back with more on the Wolverines.
Check your fluids and get you clean. Fast, friendly service for cars, trucks, and SUVs. Wiper blades or filters, check your tire pressure. Locally owned, nationally known.
Ken Frenchak here from the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Fall. Leaves are changing. Why not get a jump start on the season and get the oil changed in your vehicle? We have your grade of Valvoline oil regardless of your gas or diesel engine. We stock most air filters and windshield wiper blades. So don't forget, we offer 2 automatic car washes along with 2 self-serve bays. Stop by to have your car run and look great. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come to us for the experience.
Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy.
The center for Waynesburg, Corey Ansel, making his way to the far sidelines with the training staff for the Yellow Jackets. Listed up next on the 2 deep is Patrick Barber, the senior from Brewertown, New York. So he's expected to take over on the depth chart.
At the 10-yard line for Waynesburg.
Hudson, 16 of 25 now, 221. And those 2 first-half interceptions.
Man, injury's not surprising in this type of game with the run game and the way they're doing it. And you get into those crowds and people are stepping on you and running into you.
Split backs in the backfield with Luke Hudson, the quarterback. Single receivers to each side. Hudson with the play clock under 14. Pulls it down, fires to the end zone. Ball batted in the air and incomplete. Noah Wheeler there on the coverage. Sophomore defensive back. Good to see him back on the field out of McKinney, Texas.
Broken up by Wheeler.
Perfectly timed, dislodging the ball there. But otherwise, that's a caught pass for a touchdown. Wheeler coming up and laying a hit. It doesn't take a lot of times, but that was one where you were sure he was not going to catch that.
3rd down and 8. 2 receivers going to go to each side of the formation. Single back to the left of the quarterback, Luke Hudson. And in motion from right to left. Hudson to throw. Was looking for the motion man. Going deep into the back corner of the end zone. And he bobbled it and did not finish the catch. It's 4th down.
A great effort. And then we're going to have a flag on the play here. This is going to be well after the whistle.
Pass incomplete.
And we'll have to see, is this a sideline warning or is this going to be a penalty?
I believe this is going to be a sideline warning, which...
Really feels incomplete pass. The sideline warning waves there. Don't set the first warning.
So it's 4th down, and the kick game is not going well for Waynesburg, so you'll expect them to play here on 4th down.
Yeah, certainly I don't think I'm going to rely on the kick game. And for Waynesburg, I see that they have players down past the 20-yard line, and I think the officials have finally had enough of that where they have warned them to stay back there.
So it is 4th down and 8 for the Yellow Jackets. 8:23 to play in this football game. Now we've got whistles. And Waynesburg going to take a timeout with a critical 4th down coming up and 8:22 to play. We'll step aside for a 30-second break and come back with more on the Wolverines Sports Network.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Fourth down coming up for the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. They have used one of their 3 timeouts. Grove City with all 3 of theirs. Waynesburg coaching staff asking some questions, holding up this play, and they are going to now bring on the kicker, Drew Pinkerton, who's 1 of 4 and has had 2 kicks blocked.
Yeah, most recently 1 return for a Grove City defensive touchdown.
So this is brought the ball at the 17, a 27-yard attempt for the junior. Snap a little high, kick on the way, and this one is no good. He missed it off to the right, and Pinkerton now 1 of 5 in field goal attempts. And Grove City gets the stop and the football back.
Yeah, you hate to look, hindsight being what it is, maybe you probably should have gone for that. The kicking game has not performed well for them at all today. They've had a partially blocked punt. They've had a field goal blocked for a touchdown. So, again, it takes another dimension away from Waynesburg. You made them one-dimensional on the offense, and now you've taken pretty much any kind of special teams opportunity out of the game plan as well.
So Grove City takes over after the stop defensively. The ball on their 20-yard line. Ellis out of the quarterback spot. He will hand the ball off on a 1st down, and that is Ian Demiri bowling his way forward for about 8 yards on 1st down.
And Demiri averaging just over 5.5 yards a carry in the game, ranking right around 6.
2nd and 1 at the 29.
And that, if you do the math, every other carry is a 1st down here. That is the way that you run down the clock.
So 2nd down and a 1 as we are under 8 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Single receiver going to go to the right side. Both fullbacks in there for Grove City. Demiri remains the tailback. Ian gets the handoff, tries to bounce to the outside of those hashes. He'll have the 1st down and a couple more, and this drive for the Wolverines continues.
Yeah, you're wondering now how mentally worn down Waynesburg is here. Now, see a little bit more of the hands on the hips, a little bit more of some frustration setting in. Although they had a defender in there, could have been a tackle for loss, but Demiri, again, just staying square, getting upfield. He is hard to slow down if you're just one tackler.
So they will shuffle the offensive line. Zeke Swift in there at the center spot will stay in his position. 1st down and 10, Grove City. Ellis takes the snap, gives the ball to Demiri. Demiri seeking that contact again, lowers the shoulder, and drives forward for a couple more yards.
Reaction from the crowd here. Some game getting a little bit chippy down there.
Gain of 4 to the 38.
This has been a battle all afternoon long on homecoming for Grove City.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be tough. And I see Grove City when they're flipping that offensive line, the guard and tackle. And again, it looks like the old Syracuse offense from years ago, just going weak side and a strong side. And they're going to run to that ball off that strong side. They're just going to have you, stop us if you can.
So it'll be Ellis and Ian Demiri in the backfield. Demiri's going to get the football again, slip through a little crease across the 40, down to the 42-yard line. This is going to be 3rd down and 2 for the Wolverines.
Brought down by Vessels.
And simply the run game with Demiri, all you can see is his feet never stop moving. Even if he's almost at a standstill, he's chopping his feet, he's keeping going, so that when he finds that small area to get into, he can take off again and accelerate.
So 3rd down and 2 for the Wolverines. Both fullbacks in there, single receiver to the left side. Demiri is that tailback. Demiri gets the handoff right up the middle and got down to the 45-yard line, just enough to move the chains and keep this drive going.
Yeah, hit that hole very quick, did a flip, stuck the landing, and it results in a 1st down here. And this is the point where you start wearing down the defense, just chipping away at them at 3-4 yards apiece.
Breck Peacock will come to the sidelines. Daniel Sullivan now the receiver that will flex out on the numbers to the right side. It will shuffle the offensive line. Big 6'8" senior Luke Jolly wearing number 60. Run with Ian Demiri. Right up the middle between the hashes and Demiri. Not a lot of running room that time. Might have got one. It's 2nd down and 9.
And Demiri trying to go up that right side. Wasn't a whole lot of movement here by the Grove City offensive line. He bounced off the back of a few linemen, but somehow or another still pushed forward for a yard gain.
2nd and 9 from the 46-yard line of the Wolverines. Down to 4 minutes to play in this afternoon's game. Sullivan, single receiver to the right side. Demiri, the tailback. Burnett and Hoddle, your fullbacks. Play clock down under 5 seconds. They snap it with 1. Give the ball to Demiri again, who turns sideways, trying to slip through a crease. He'll pick up about 2 yards down to the 49-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down. And Waynesburg going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 with 3:32 to play in the 4th quarter.
Waynesburg getting a big dose of Ian Demiri, 15 carries, 76 yards. That was just updated, 16 carries, 79 yards, just a hair under 5 yards a carry. And he doesn't seem to be slowing down at all. Actually seems to be getting stronger as the game goes on.
This is homecoming weekend at the college, and we're also already looking forward to homecoming 2026. Homecoming 2026 will be the 100th anniversary of homecoming and the 150th anniversary of Grove City College. Save the dates for October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2026, when we'll have our first night homecoming game. So Waynesburg down to 1 timeout remaining. Grove City with a 24-14 lead and doing exactly what they want to do late in the game, grinding out the clock with the running game.
Yeah, it's tough to do when you're just being run over like this. But now it's a 3rd down situation for Waynesburg. This is an opportunity for them to get the ball back. I don't believe Grove City, this is going to be 2-down territory for them, but 3.5 minutes left. This is going to be Waynesburg, maybe their last chance at putting something together.
3rd down and 6. Grove City will split 1 receiver to the right, 1 to the left. Demiri remains the tailback. Play clock at 15 seconds.
Sullivan out to the far side. He's beat that corner once already today. See if they'll take the shot on 3rd down.
Ellis drops to throw. They're going to take a shot that way. Sullivan turned around at the last second and couldn't find the football in the sun, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, and I think certainly that's exactly what happened. When he turned his head the first time, you could see he had to flip back around after he tracked the ball.
What was it about that formation you saw that you thought they might go that way?
Well, just the fact that you've had success to that far side. I mean, you've had on the last possession 2 touchdowns. 1 count and 1 didn't. He was out of bounds on the first one, but they went right back to it. Certainly a speed advantage. So at that point, take a shot at it. See if you can kind of strike gold again.
Lane to punt the football away. Marcus Crum Jr. back at his 10-yard line. High spiraling kick, and this one is going to float out of bounds And they're going to spot this football. Let's see as the official comes up to the sidelines, and he'll put his foot down at the 10-yard line. That looked like it was a little further upfield, but he'll take the 10-yard line from Brady Lane.
Yeah, he'll come up the field until he gets the chop from the referee. And a little secret that, I'll tell you as long as you don't tell anybody else.
Nobody's listening. It's okay.
Sometimes it's just a guess. Or one of those things, looks good to me.
As long as the crew is in sync.
Yeah, Waynesburg, though, now with 90 yards to go.
Hudson going to stand at his own 5-yard line. On 1st and 10. Drops back to the 2. Going to take the shot downfield. Receiver came open and made the catch at the 30-yard line.
Pass complete from Hudson to Fields.
That's Isaiah Fields, another sophomore from Cumberland, Maryland, on the reception.
And Fields came back on this. Some nice touch on the ball by Hudson.
One receiver, now 2 go to each side of the formation. Running back going to move to the right side of his quarterback. He'll drop to throw. Back to the 20. Takes the shot downfield. Ball deflected and incomplete. Caleb Brubaker, the senior linebacker, got a hand on that football. And one of the Waynesburg players a little slow to get up.
Yeah, definitely came down awkwardly on that ankle. I'm trying to see that. I think that's going to be Tyler Richmond again, maybe?
Yeah, that.
Hard to see these numbers kind of bent there, but yeah, indeed it is. He's had a rough day here. He's been bumped up a little bit, but went high up for that ball, got hit from behind, but also came down awkwardly on that ankle.
And taking a look at the right ankle for Richmond as he tried to elevate for that pass that Brubaker got up just enough to get a fingertip on and bat the football away. So that pass falls incomplete, and we're down to 2:35 to play here in the 4th.
And certainly for Richmond, you like to have him on the field, but he has certainly had a rough time out there in the secondary.
The numbers for Richmond, though, 8 catches for 103, averaging about 13 yards per catch.
Well, Luke Hudson's favorite target out there, unfortunately. He's laying out there on the field. And again, hopefully just one of those things where you twist it a little bit. Initially, I'm sure there's a lot of pain there. Been there, done that.
So with the player down, we'll take a 30-second break and come back with more on the Wolverines Sports Network.
People fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Tyler Richmond up and walking to the far sidelines with a round of applause as he gingerly makes his way to that far sideline. We're down to 2:35 to play in this 4th quarter. Waynesburg facing a 2nd down and 10. Kellen Taylor hustling off the field. Trips to the right side, single receiver left. Hudson drops the throw. Bladel had an eye on him, and he just did get the football away for a short gain as he just released that football before Ben Bladel came free.
Yeah, Bladel getting there as he was trying to go down to a 2nd or 3rd check down, just threw it over the middle, and actually was able to pick up 4 yards on that.
3rd down and 6 as we approach the 2-minute timeout. Hudson trying to get one more snap off. He will. Sets up the screen. Receiver made the catch. Hurdled one defender. And then got taken down by Jolly at the 41-yard line.
That's a 2-minute timeout.
And we have reached the 2-minute timeout here this afternoon from Robert E. Thorne Field on the campus of Grove City College. And at the 2-minute timeout, it is Grove City 24 and Waynesburg 14. We'll step aside, a full timeout, and be back with more on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 12 private institutions and one associate member, the PAC thrives in athletics and academics. Now sponsoring 24 varsity sports, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics, with academics at the core of every program. With over 300 academic All-Americans and over 1,400 academic honor roll recipients with a 3.6 GPA or higher in the past year alone. Our student athletes excel in athletics as well as the classroom. Want to learn more? Visit us at pacathletics.org or follow us on social media.
Right back here this afternoon on the Wolverine Sports Network. 1:57 to play here in the fourth quarter. This has been a hard-fought, well-played game in the President's Athletic Conference.
As we were talking earlier, it's going to be ice bath for everybody tonight.
Two receivers to each side of the formation for Luke Hudson. Shriver is the quarterback, or excuse me, the tailback who moves to his left side. Hudson to throw. Time going to take the shot downfield. Ball looping in the air, and that is intercepted. And brought back across the 30. And that interception is, we've got a pile up and multiple flags on the field. The interception is Keegan Frazier, his second.
Pass intercepted by number 31, Keegan Frazier.
Yeah, I think Nick Clemens is probably going to draw a flag on this. And oh, actually looks like we're maybe. All right, so offsetting penalties, and it'll be like it never happened.
So Keegan Frazier, second consecutive game with an interception for the senior out of Knock. The younger brother, of course, of Scott Frazier, who's up and down the receiving record books for the Wolverines.
I was going to say, a big name there in Grove City Wolverine lore. He was a favorite target of everybody.
So spot the football at the 35-yard line of the Wolverines. With a minute 43 to play, Waynesburg down to one timeout. Demiri, the tailback. He'll get his 17th carry. And he's going to pick up a couple yards on first down.
Yeah, and if this were baseball, I think you would call Demiri the closer here, as I think we're going to see a heavy dose of him trying to eat this clock up here as we get a nice little call from the crowd for him. And he kind of reminds you of Scattaboo from the Giants, just in terms of the way he's built and the way he plays. And it's kind of entertaining because he's like a bowling ball. He just rolls to the defense.
Two hands on the football. Demiri today. He has carried it 17 times for 83 yards, just under 5 yards per carry for the senior. Came into play, leading the team in rushing with 330 yards, so that'll put him up over the 400-yard mark on the season. As in a minute 25, Grove City will be halfway through the 2025 season.
Yeah, certainly, and long way to go here. I often wonder, guys like Demiri, the way they play their style, how do you play week after week like that? That is just, it's a tough style to play. A running back usually tries to avoid contact, trying to get as many yards as they can. It's almost like sometimes he tries to seek out the linebackers.
So off the timeout, it'll be 2nd down and 6. Sutton Ellis, the junior quarterback out of Brunswick, Georgia. As he and Demiri behind him. Breck Peacock, the lone receiver. High snap, gives the ball to Demiri, and Demiri got thrown down by his helmet that got ripped off.
Yeah, no call on that, and I can understand why there was no call.
3 to the 42.
I think the crowd was looking for maybe some kind of face mask, some kind of personal foul, but good no call by the officials. Although he'll have to come off for this play, and Rankin will have to come in and carry this one for a couple downs.
So Rankin will check in. Also, we've got fullback number 42, Lucas Lohman, out of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, checking in. So Lohman and Hoddle will be the fullbacks, and now Grove City going to take a timeout. By taking that timeout, Demiri can come right back in.
Yes, so he'll come back in. You'll get a heavy dose of him, and with under a minute to play, again, that's going to be our closer here. You're going to see a lot of people, a lot of defenders reaching in for that ball, but that's going to be futile because there's always two hands on that ball. This last carry, though, was a little bit awkward, but also lost his helmet as well. So,
and you look at the numbers that, of course, were about a minute away from being official. Grove City being outgained by Waynesburg, 318 to 238. But you throw in the special teams, blocked field goal returned for a touchdown, the interception returned for a touchdown, scoring in every phase of the game, finding a way to get the job done.
Yeah, well, when your offense is in on the field, you're not going to rack up the yards as much. But for Waynesburg, they've had extra possessions just by the mere fact that Grove City has taken these turnovers and turned them into touchdowns quickly. So the number's a little bit skewed. Of course, now you can see with this score that those statistics don't always tell the story.
And Grove City's longest rush of the afternoon, 15 yards, but they've run it 37 times for 155 yards. Barzak going to check in, receiver spot, tight to the formation for some extra blocking. Demiri gets the handoff, bounces off one of his fullbacks, and Demiri back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th down for Grove City.
Rankin on the run.
So yeah, the clock going to continue to run here. Waynesburg, no timeouts. Approaching just about a half a minute left here in this game, and this is where the run game is just so outstanding here. Great tool to have as Demiri make his way back onto the field after having his helmet removed from his head unceremoniously.
Looking at about a 3-second difference between game and a play clock. Wolverines are going to shuffle the offensive line, keep both fullbacks in. Snap it with 1 second. Give the ball to Ian Demiri one more time. Demiri is going to have the first down, and the Grove City College Wolverines are going to have win number 3 here this afternoon, a 24-14 win over Waynesburg College. It wasn't easy, but it's a win for the Wolverines, Jim.
Absolutely. It was a gritty win. It was a good fight there, tough. I'm going to see a lot of ice packs here after this game. Sometimes games don't go as pretty as you'd like to, but you got to reach down deep, and other folks step up here defensively. A touchdown, special teams, a touchdown. So again, a lot of reliability on all 3 phases.
2-2. Grove City improves to 3-2. They are also now 2-2 in President's Athletic Conference play. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll wrap things up after this on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Back one final time to Robert E. Thorne Field as the team gathers around the band here this afternoon. The Wolverines a victorious team this afternoon, 24-14. Jim, you look at some of the final numbers in this one. First downs, 20-18 in favor of Waynesburg. Grove City able to run the football for 1 of 59 and contain the running game of the Yellow Jackets, holding them to just 66 yards on the ground.
Yeah, you look at the first downs here, 20-18, you would think the game would be a little bit more close than that, but considering that Grove City had fewer offensive possessions just by the mere fact that the defense was scoring, it's kind of misleading there. So again, great performance by the defensive side for the Wolverines.
Total offensive numbers, 318 for Waynesburg, 242 for Grove City. Both teams penalized 6 times. Waynesburg turned it over 3 times. The Wolverines 2. Luke Hudson, 19 of 32 for 252. He was intercepted 3 times. As you look at some of these final numbers, Carson Shriver, 19 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. Leading receiver Tyler Richmond, 6 for 103 for Grove City. Ellis throwing the football, 7 of 17, 83 yards and a touchdown. Ian Demiri carried it 19 times for 89 yards. Rankin 15 for 85. That's good balance in the running game.
Yeah, certainly. You look at Demiri. He came in at the end of that game and capped this one off here. Kept the clock running, picked up those first downs. And again, like I called him earlier, he's the closer here. And that's what you look forward to is that situation will keep you from getting more injuries, too. Just keeping them on the field, grinding it down. And they'll look forward to next week.
Daniel Sullivan, your leading receiver, 3 catches for 42 and a touchdown. Brett Peacock, 3 for 30. Sam Penna, 1 for 11. Looking at the tackling numbers, Jack Jolly leading the way this afternoon. The senior was 7. Keegan Frazier was 7. Caleb Brubaker was 7. He was credited with a half of sack as well. Karcheski was 6. Ryan Montgomery with 5. Also a sack for Kellen Taylor and a half sack for Dave Cower. And all of those numbers, Jim, add up to a Grove City win, 24-14 this afternoon.
You're also looking at the tackles for loss, 7 plays. Tackles for losses for Grove City there. And that means that Waynesburg was working from behind the sticks a lot of times there. And again, the play calling becomes a little bit more difficult because you try not to be able to be ready to script for 1st and 12, 1st and 15, or excuse me, 2nd and 12, 2nd and 15. So, again, great effort by the defense.
That effort turns into another win for Grove City, who will now turn their attention towards Allegheny for a home game at Allegheny in Meadville next week. Allegheny trailing Case Western Reserve 14-0 in the latter stages of the opening quarter in this game. And this afternoon, like all good football teams do, Jim, the Wolverines found a way to win.
Yeah, certainly. You just have to adjust. That shows 2 things. A, you've got great athletes on this team, and B, your coaching staff does a very good job of making the adjustments and compensating sometimes when you're struggling in certain areas.
So that's a win for the Wolverines here this afternoon. We haven't done this since Waynesburg last year on the road, but always fun to get back together every once in a while.
Oh, and I love coming out here. It's a beautiful campus out here, and a lot of guys, from the football aspect, they want to go to these big schools, and they want to go to Florida and Ohio State, and we have those fantasies. But I'll tell you, there's campuses like this that are actually outstanding. Highly encourage everybody to come out, check these schools out here. Grove City, I know from firsthand experience, just a great environment. Also, while you're here, get a great education, get a degree too. You know, you're not just here to play football, but you know, you just can't say enough about the intimacy of a campus like Grove City.
Wolverines return home in 2 weeks to face Westminster for the 107th time on the 25th at 1 o'clock. Big thank you to Sports Information Director Ryan Briggs, his staff here in the press box, doing a fantastic job as always. For my partner Jim Craven this week, my name is Mark Means. It's a Wolverine winner on homecoming, 24-14, right here on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Thank you for tuning into the Wolverines Sports Network. We'll talk to you next time on the home of the Wolverines.